Summon Sign is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 79 of Summon Sign. I almost said punching up. Summon Sign's weekly in-depth game discussion podcast. We are... Did I say Summon Signs again? Let me rewind that real quick. Welcome to Summon Sign, Last Stand Media's weekly in-depth game discussion podcast. Whoa, whirlwind today. I just woke up recently as well, though, so we're doing it. But hey, I'm Brad Ellis. I'm your host, as always. Joining me, two lovely humans. First, we're going to start with Micah Moriarty. Micah, how are you?
Hello. This would be a very special episode of Punching Up if Chris was on it. That's for sure.
Dude, that would be insane. That'd be so weird.
I'd love to get Chris's takes on the Switch 2 and the new Mario Kart and all that. It'd be quite interesting. But also, yeah, if we jumped ahead 10 episodes, because we just did episode 69. So
That's
that would
true,
be...
yeah. Milestone.
Hey, nice.
Yes.
Oh
And
my
Mr.
God, no. Chris, you should have seen it. The write-ins that episode,
Of course.
the audience understood the assignment.
Yeah, I feel like that must have happened for Sacred as well, but 69 was so many Sacreds ago, I can't possibly remember. I would have to imagine that was the case, though.
Yeah. It's just going to happen no matter what. Like,
yeah.
What are you guys on? Like 300 something right now?
I don't know. I think it's like 360, 370 something.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think we.
When you get to 420, that's gonna be insane.
420.
But I don't know. Colin's always ripping during the show anyway, so I don't know. Wouldn't even be special.
No, 420 in this house. That's just it's that like M. Bison quote, and it's like, for you it was the day M. Bison came to town. For me it was a Tuesday.
Yeah,
and it's like
exactly.
For you
You're right.
It was 420. For Colin it was Tuesday.
That's a Street Fighter movie quote, isn't that? From the movie?
I think so. I've seen it in memes. I love the memes about it because like it's always so funny.
I think that's the movie.
I believe
Chun-Li's,
so.
He's talking to Chun-Li or something. I don't know. Whatever. Hey, if you enjoy our show, any of our shows, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. If you'd like to support us, we'd greatly appreciate it. Leave us a nice rating on your podcast service of choice, whatever. iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff, Google Play. Help the show grow. If you want some merch, go to laststandmedia.store. You can get some stuff sent out by Micah herself. Like I said, make her work. No breaks for Micah. Order one sticker.
Can I talk about that real quick, actually?
Yes.
Just a PSA. And I'm saying this like with the most gentle and like not, there's no annoyance. This is like me, just a PSA. Just a reminder that on the Habroxia games, we listed a 12-week shipping window on that product details page. I'm just getting a lot of emails and DMs of people asking when their order will ship. And it's just a reminder, like it's just me sending these out. We're sending about 50 per day. So your order is not lost. It's not forgotten. Like everything's cool. If you have not gotten your tracking number yet, it has not shipped. And we should actually probably come in under that estimate. We did like a very conservative math on that just to make sure that barring any issues, I would have them all out on time. So we said 12 weeks. I probably can get them done faster than that. But with all the random shit with like treble and like all that, we just wanted to be conservative on the number. But your orders, I have them. And there's nothing wrong with your order if it hasn't shipped yet. It's just that I'm just one small woman, shipping them out as fast as I can.
In a kitchen, doing the best she can. Dude, I'm so scatterbrained today. I can already feel it. Did I even introduce you, Chris? I don't even know anymore.
No, I don't think so. I think today's a weird day for everybody because I almost totally forgot that this was even happening. Because I woke up mega early, like really awkward, like at like 6. I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like it's a little too early. Like 7:30 or like 8. I think I could be like, all right, this is a reasonable amount of time.
Right.
For some reason 6 was just a weird time, and so I was just up, and then I was in this office, and I was like, I wire this stuff better. I totally got like fucking hypnotized by wiring.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird day. I could feel it already.
Called me, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit, we gotta record." So I think today's just like an off day in general.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird day.
No, dude,
Chris,
when you talk about like waking up just too early for stuff, because one thing I noticed is like nothing here opens until like 10 a.m. So it's like, if I getting up at 8, it's like the post office ain't open, the pharmacy ain't open. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit in my house? So it's like, so I may as well just sleep until 10 when the world wakes up with me.
Yeah, and it wasn't even one of those things where like you wake up and you're like, oh, I guess I could sleep a little more. It was just like, I was just kind of up, which never happens. And I was like, okay, great. Wonderful.
Christopher, turn yourself up slightly for me.
Oh, a little
just
bit?
Slightly. Just a little bit.
Hello? 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, cool.
There we go. All right, guys. Pair of Shoes wrote in, hello, Ellis Stranding 2 on the California beach. Christopher Channing? And Micah Remastered, The Mystery of the Grilling Army. Mr. Clean walks into his spyless mansion and sits you down at his own kitchen table. Before you know it, chains come from the floor and keep you in place in the chair. Mr. Clean appears with 3 cleaning buckets full of a separate condiment each. Which one would you have him mop all over your face and body? Number 1, honey mustard. Number 2, ranch dressing. Number 3, mayo chup, which is mayo and ketchup. Thanks for all the fun times and hope your summer's treating you well. All right. Yeah, process it, Chris. It's okay.
What happened to this show exactly?
I don't know. Look, I'll be honest, Chris. Things get a little more weird whenever you're on it. At least the names on the show.
That makes sense.
But
Jesus
I don't know,
Christ.
man.
Yeah, I gotta go with honey mustard, man. Like if I have no choice, like I don't know, mayo chup. First of all, heinous decision making with that name.
Yeah,
I don't appreciate that at all. Ranch, no. So I think I'm going with honey mustard. I don't like ranch. I never liked ranch.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Something about it.
Just a little weird. Huh. Okay. Micah, what about you? What are you picking?
I hate all 3 of these options. It's like, can I ask for like the ketchup water? I would take that in a heartbeat. Ketchup broth.
Oh my god, dude. The pre-cum? Yeah.
I would take that over any of these. But if this is what Mr. Clean's offering, I guess I'll take the mayo chup. It's, I don't know, like ranch is heinous, honey mustard's disgusting. I also hate mayonnaise, but at least it's got the ketchup in it. I guess I'll go with that.
Okay.
You could have just asked, by the way, which of these do you prefer? But you made this entire elaborate psychotic fever dream of a setup just to ask.
Well, I'm not hating the setup. The setup's pretty cool here. All right, it's like that's all fine. It's just these toppings. Like if he could instead, let's say he could like spray you down with the ketchup water and then like sprinkle Dorito dust over you. Like I'd take that, But it's just the scenario, Chris, is fine. It's just what happens during the scenario that I don't like.
You would be fine with the scenario.
Yeah, you would be fine with this.
Mr. Clean, have you seen him?
I mean, yeah, in theory, I've seen him. I've seen depictions of him. What, Evan?
Does he still have an earring? I always thought that was strange.
Did he have an earring?
He has one earring, on his left ear.
Yeah.
Is this a Mandela effect type situation where like
no, this is actually real.
He definitely did.
Yeah, he still does. I just looked.
I don't remember that.
He's got it.
He's like Harrison Ford or some shit with just one earring.
What the hell? Oh, he does.
Yeah, how weird is that?
It even twinkles in some of these.
Because he's so clean.
He's so clean. Look at that.
One earring is the definition. Like that is not something I associate with being clean.
No, but it's sparkling.
That's to me someone that couldn't make up their mind.
Well,
half step.
Always had this?
Yeah.
This is fucking with me. this is like the dash in Coca-Cola or something, or like the Febreze, the 2 E's in Febreze, where I'm like, I don't remember him ever having an earring. I remember hearing him just being a bald man, and that was it.
No, man.
And now you're finding out that he fucks, and it's messing with you a bit.
Little bit.
Fuck something. I don't know what it is.
What a weird mascot this is, by the way. Like, I love the idea that they had like this pitch meeting where it's like, who should we? It's like, I don't know, just a guy in a white tee.
Make him bald.
Make him
shiny.
Actually, dude, I never thought of it, but it is kind of weird because, like, yeah, a man representing a cleaning company. Because you think of cleaning, you think of like the cleaning lady, like all that type of stuff. And it is funny, like, yeah, we got some dude is like the head of a cleaning company, like he's passionate about cleaning.
Yeah, and he's jacked also. He's like a jacked, he's a jacked, bald gym bro with one earring.
I was gonna say, he looks like a PE teacher or some shit.
Yeah, like he doesn't look like a cleanliness professional necessarily. He doesn't look filthy by any means, but he doesn't look particularly clean. Like as an archetype. I don't know.
I don't know, man. He survived. He didn't get changed like so many, like Aunt Jemima and all that stuff.
That is true. That is true.
He survived.
I'm thinking more about Mr. Clean today than I ever have in my life.
Yeah. You'll never forget that earring now. You'll always remember it.
That's going to be one of those things that I never forget, that takes the place of something that I really should remember always. Like
your social security number.
Yeah. I was about to say goodbye social security number. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Clean, using his penis to like windshield wiper the honey mustard off your face, because that's what I was picturing. Bradley, choose a sauce.
Ranch. I'll take the other one.
Brad.
I would rather eat ranch than any of those.
They call me Ranch because I be dressing. That's what Brad says every day when he gets up.
I've never said that, but that's pretty good.
That's one of his iconic catchphrases. It's one of I remember it. Like
everyone knows that.
Everyone knows
he signs off every show.
Yeah, Brad Ellis has ranch catchphrase.
Yeah,
classic.
All right, this is from Propeller Doggo. Hey, Summoner, Gooners, and Chris. This is just for Micah to brighten her day and maybe make Chris question his day.
Great.
That my pick has a doggo wearing propeller hat. That is all. Need a Gene video review of the DK barrel cushion fleshlight kind of day.
Is that real?
Micah, what is this even? What is this? I don't understand this.
Oh, okay. So this comes from my love of propeller hats, of which I have one. And this really started from Colin and I having a conversation about, if you had a genie, what would you wish for? And he was incensed at my 3 wishes, which were for like a propeller hat, a corn dog, and like $1 million. Mm-hmm. And he was like, if you wasted your genie wishes like that, I would divorce you. And I was like, we're getting the $1 million at the end. But I like, oh no, it's because I wanted to learn how to whistle. That the original wish. Wow, this is like old LSM lore. The original wish was that I wanted a propeller hat, a corn dog, and to learn how to whistle. And he was like incensed that one of the wishes wasn't for money. And I was like, okay, one of the wishes could be for like $1 million. He's like, that's like chump change these days.
Yeah.
He's like, I wish you could wish for as much money as you need for the rest of your life. And then his mom actually ended up giving me a propeller hat. So she's like, so now you can take that off the list of wishes. But yeah, I love propeller hats, man. They're awesome.
Do you have it with you, the propeller hat?
Yeah, it's over here. Let me
get it out. Put it on.
Go get it.
The thing to me is that, like, with $1 million, a corn dog, and a propeller hat, $1 million is sure to follow anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like, you're setting yourself up for absolute success.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Do they have them with like? I love those hats, by the way, because they are what. The propeller hat confuses me for 2 reasons. I don't know if it's like an Acme situation, right? Where like, I know Acme as a store from the cartoons, but I didn't know that was an actual store until like way, way later. Like when I found out, like there was an Acme supermarket that opened up. I think they took the place of like an A&P around where my parents lived. And I remember being like, what the fuck? They made a real store based on the cartoon? And then I found out, no, that was a joke. The whole point was that it was a real store. And so the propeller hat confused me because I don't know if that was ever, I don't know if that was like drawn for cartoon purposes first
Right.
and then built for it, or if that was a real hat that was then put in cartoons, because that seems to me like the stupidest design to ever exist with no pretext. Like, that feels like it needs to come from a cartoon, but I'm not sure if it does.
I mean, I definitely am with you of like, were kids in like the 30s running around wearing these? I don't know, but it was in every cartoon. It was like a trope, like every cartoon had like the propeller hat kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man, like it does it.
They
I don't know what to do.
Do they have electric ones or like there's like a motor in it?
Oh my God, you can bet that somebody made that. Absolutely.
That would send me
Dude,
spiraling.
You show up to a first date wearing that, like the propeller hat stays on during sex. I mean, she's yours.
Supreme that's
Locked
supreme
in.
confidence, man. That's supreme confidence.
Yeah.
Like it, and if it's going fast enough with like a motor, it's like it could potentially cool you off.
It could be a fan, absolutely.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to cool off, you know?
You know, exactly.
According
So,
to Google,
yeah.
this originated in 1947, invented by the science fiction author and artist Ray Faraday Nelson as a whimsical costume accessory. So,
okay.
it has survived.
It was fiction first. I like that it happened after Hitler, because such a whimsical thing could only occur after Hitler.
Yeah, post-war. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a little sad though. Like Hitler never knew about this.
That's true.
Maybe he wouldn't have done it. Maybe he wouldn't have done it if he had seen American kids running around with this shit. He would have been like, "What am I doing? You know, like what am I thinking? Look at the whimsy."
Yeah.
So whimsical.
Yeah.
I forgot all about my dead mother. Like, you know, like maybe he wouldn't have done it.
His art school rejection. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's okay.
That was the painting that got rejected. He drew the propeller hat, and the world said no. And
they weren't ready for it yet.
They weren't ready for it, and he got so mad, and he ruined the world. And then a year or two later, they were like, "Actually, yeah, you know, it's not so bad.
It's not so bad." Yeah. I for sure thought it was going to be from some stupid like French circus or something from the 1800s, but no.
Yeah. Oh,
is this guy American, dude? That
my air conditioner just came on, and it's going to be fucking freezing, so I'm going to shut it off real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Oh, is this guy American? Where's he from? I gotta find out his origin.
Yeah, Chris was like, I gotta turn off that AC before I start blasting nips in here.
He was American. Whoa, he's a New Yorker. Jeez. Thanks, New York. All right. Jesus. What a fucking weird start. Now I can't stop thinking about the propeller hat. Put it back on, Micah.
No, because it's rattling every time I move my head. I can't take it.
So flimsily created. I wonder if there's like a high end, if there's like a Christian Dior.
Dude. So actually,
analog to a propeller hat.
Mine has these beads, right? But there are ones that have like a frog on it instead. Like they're little froggo beads. I mean, I think that's probably like the tip of the top. You could also get one without a brim. So it's like just like the round hat.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is that is too crazy. Like a little yarmulke just sitting on your head with the little top spinning around.
Yeah, propeller
that would
hat.
be really funny to see.
Look at these.
If Hitler had seen that, Bradley, that specifically, he never would have done it.
Ew!
If he had just seen that.
Ew, you're right. Yeah, there's like beanies. There's like beanie versions of it. That's
How dare you say ew? You're getting them. You're getting one for your birthday, Chris. Happy birthday.
Dude, that would be a great stakes for a future bet. The losers have to wear the beanie propeller hats for a week or like 2 episodes or something.
That's crazy.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's like Colin, they had to wear the Naruto headband, but it's like, I got this fucking thing. Like, I was stoked because he was like,
yeah.
He's like, which one should I wear? And I was like, Sand Village, because it's the one I want.
Yeah, both of you, Colin and Chris, were Sand Village.
Yeah.
Do you still have your headband, Chris?
Yeah, it's in my box of wires. Which I forgot that I put it in there because I was like, I don't know. I used to have like a box of props in like my old
Top?
just like a bunch of like video stuff. like there's like fake guns and stuff, but like I never brought those here because I'm like, I don't want to go through TSA with
Right, yeah, explaining this shit.
Yeah, just a box of weird, like confusing, random shit. So I don't have a prop box anymore. So I'm like, where the fuck do I put this headband? So I'm like, I'll just put it with my HDMI cables.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Of course. The next logical step.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that if you were going through TSA with that, you could just tell them you're a dentist and it's the prize box. And they'll be like, oh, all right. Because those
kids.
always had the most
Calm them
random shit.
What are you talking about? Like, dentists have prize boxes where you're from?
Yeah, for children. Like you go to the dentist and at the end you get a prize. My sister and I, we would always choose like the sticky hand that you like flap, like put back at the wall.
Rule. Yeah.
Well, my mom, we weren't allowed to get them anymore because they would leave handprints because they were like so greasy. And like one time we got it stuck to the ceiling. That handprint was not coming off. But she was like, you're not allowed to get those anymore. So then another time I got like a bouncy ball with a tooth in it. And then like the intrusive thoughts just one day like really like came through and I just like ripped the tooth out. I had to have it. No, a prize box at the dentist was fantastic. Bradley, do you have this?
No.
Well, not as an adult. Like as a child, you got prizes for going.
I don't think so. They would give you like a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They would give you like floss or like kindly advice, but they never had like a prize box. That sounds awesome, actually. I don't think I would have hated
like
the dentist nearly as much.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Oh my God. Yeah. The top prizes were always the sticky hand thing though. That was, or like a Chinese finger trap. Like it was that type of knick-knacky stuff.
Right.
In there.
Chinese finger trap.
That's another thing I thought I would have seen more of by this point in my life is the Chinese finger traps. I've never just diegetically happened across them. I've always had to intentionally try to find them.
Yeah, I feel like they were much more common when we were kids. I don't know. Maybe because we were kids.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I don't know. Fucking weird. All right.
That's going to be the next write-in. It'll be like Mr. Clean comes in and he puts both your wieners in a Chinese finger trap and it's like, which sauce do you want him to pour over it? Like somebody's going to write that in next week.
Pour over it.
That is that's the use of a Chinese finger trap in that disgusting of a way, like in such a sexual manner, is so new to me because I haven't thought about Chinese finger traps since I was a literal child. So like the innocence of that has just been completely shattered. So thank you.
Yeah.
And now you're like, geez, I gotta go buy one of these.
You gotta get it on Mythbusters. The Mythbusters have to do it. They gotta Jamie Hyneman and Adam Savage need to lock their penises into a Chinese finger trap.
Well, wasn't the way to get out you have to like touch them together or something like that?
Exactly, because that's how they work. Because I had multiple Chinese finger traps as a kid, and I mean they were usually made of like a mesh plastic, so you really wouldn't get your fingers like absolutely stuck. They weren't trying to like amputate some kids' fingers, but it was if you pull apart, it tightens. And so if you pulled hard enough on those plastic mesh ones, you'd get your fingers back out. For you're supposed to bring them together and it kind of like opens the ends of the trap and then you're free.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'd have to touch wieners with Mr. Clean, which would then, depending on the length of the trap, you would then have to be, and so then, because you got to be able to reach them. And so that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
The logistics of this, I'm writing a pretty good movie right here, I got to say. Like,
like a saw game or whatever.
Sure, yeah, we could go with that. I was thinking more like something you'd see on the hub, but that's cool too.
Let's play a game.
I've locked your put your dicks.
I've locked your pee-pee. I've locked your pee-pee in a Chinese finger trap. Fuck you. Like I don't even know what the game would be.
The game's getting out of the finger trap. That's the game. That's it. So
yeah.
Because the thing is, so you're gonna be facing each other, right?
Yeah.
So first you gotta manage. You gotta manage to get hard while looking at Mr. Clean. Okay, so I was
curious about that. Was he gonna like give you Viagra or some shit so you don't have a choice?
No, like you gotta figure this shit out. You have to figure out how to become aroused while looking right at Mr. Clean.
The trap it's such a petty trap. The trap is just if you remain straight, then you're dead. But if you become a little gay, then you might live. It's such a stupid.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride, Happy Pride Month.
You claim to be bisexual. Let's put it to the test.
LOL.
Yeah.
LOL.
All right. Good Lord. Let's talk about a video game. Micah, please get us away from these Mr. Clean dick traps and talk to us about RAIDOU Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. What a title.
Yeah. I really like it so far. I was pretty unsure how I'd feel about this game. I'm a fan, of course, of the Persona series. I didn't really jive with Shin Megami Tensei 5 when I tried it, but that's just a me thing. I was like, I'm just not as into this as I am with the Persona titles, right? Of which I've played 3 portable, 4 golden, and 5 the base game. But I said, you know what? The trailer for this game looked really interesting. And of course, it's on Switch. So I was like, I'm going to give this a try. The, basic story that they set you up with, it's set in the 1930s. And you are a demon summoning detective. And your first case is about a missing high school girl. And as you investigate her disappearance, you're just going to see that this mystery has just so many branching paths and different parties involved, and it gets interesting very quickly. So I do like the fact that the game gets going kind of right away. It's a shorter game anyways. People are reporting they're beating the game in like 20, 25 hours just doing the main story content. So I like when a game like this gets off the ground quickly. Something like not a knock to it, but something like Death Stranding, watching Colin play the first one, and I'm like, I just watched you watch a 2-hour movie, basically. Just getting everything set up for this world has taken about 3 hours, and now you can play the game. It's not like that at all. This is a game that gets you in and playing really quickly. The battle system is explained piece by piece, but it's not like grudgingly slow or anything. It's also not Tutorial City. They just kind of give you one mechanic at a time to mess with, and then the next battle you'll learn something different. There are 5 difficulty modes here. Interesting thing is that there's 2 easy modes. So Sleuth is the easiest, and you actually can't die. So it's that level of easy. Then they have Gumshoe, which is easier. So that's like your traditional easy. So they have like very easy, Private Eye's normal, that's what I'm playing on. And then Truth Seeker and Detective Legend are like the hardest modes. Right. So I like all these options, first of all. If you really just want to enjoy the story, if you want to treat this more like a visual novel detective game, you can play it on one of the easier modes and just have a great time exploring the story and going through it that way. For the exploration, the world map is broken up into your various like city districts, which makes it a bit easier to explore because the areas are pretty small, pretty contained. You're not going to get lost very easily in here. And if you do get turned around, like they're just such small sections of the city. I appreciate that a lot. And when you're looking for your objective, for example, it's just much easier to find. There's, of course, items to find, so it's worth going down all the back alley streets and looking for things. You'll get rewarded for exploring the map. There's also these rifts that will pop up, and it's essentially a part of the demon world seeping into the human world. And like you go into these rifts and clear them out. These are, great for grinding levels, partly because it's just nice to kind of run around and find them. And it just feels a bit different than just running around aimlessly looking for enemies. You're like going to the specific place. It's also not a big dungeon like Mementos or Tartarus. It's not like that at all. You go in, fight a wave or 2 of enemies, maybe more as the game progresses. Right now where I'm at, you fight like 1 or 2 waves of enemies, and then it puts you back where you were.
Oh, that's short.
And
yeah.
I love that because, of course, I like the dungeons. That's a big reason to play Persona games is the dungeon design and all that. But this is a really nice change of pace. You just pop into this rift, defeat some enemies, go back to whatever the fuck you were doing. So I like that a lot. There is a fast travel system. It costs money, but it's negligible amounts of money. So take advantage of the fast travel. Of course, walk around, take the slow routes if you're just enjoying your time in the city. but it's not like a living, breathing world. It doesn't feel like that, like in the, Persona games, for example.
Right.
There's NPCs to talk to and interact with, but I'd rather take the fast travel. I'd say this isn't like something like Kingdom Come Deliverance where it's like, oh, I want to walk everywhere and talk to people. It's not like that. And there are a decent number of NPCs that will interact with you, but it's not overwhelming. Most of them are not interactive. There are what they call case files, which are like the side missions in the game. There's also not a ton of those so far. So it's not overwhelming in that regard either. A lot of those are simply having, one interaction with the NPC. So, and it'll say like case file complete. And it's like, I didn't really do anything, but
Right.
it's nice. It's nice to have these little side missions, and some of them are extremely short and you just kind of checking them off. It's a great change of pace just compared to some of the like JRPGs I play a lot where there's just so much side content and you start to really feel like it feels like it's a whole second game, basically. Mm-hmm. This is a much more, streamlined experience, and I'm enjoying that aspect. Another thing about the NPCs is that sometimes they will need help with something that like your demons can assist with. So your demons that you collect, and these are your familiar Persona, Shin Megami Tensei demons that you know from those games, which is fun to see them in another use. They'll have like field skills or field abilities. So you might walk up to someone and they need to like help crossing the street, and you can use your demon's ability to help them. Or like your demon, like you might have one that can read minds, for example. It's that type of stuff. And you'll use those during the investigation along the way. Like electric type demons can do like an area scan for hidden items or hidden objects. And so you'll have options like that. Or you might have one like your fire type can, it's called Ignite. And if somebody's like scared or timid, it'll give them the courage to talk to you, basically, as you're going around and talking to witnesses and whatnot. And then, getting into like one last thing with exploration. There is like a Shadow Realm version of the city. And even that, though, it still doesn't feel like going to like Mementos or Tartarus, because it's not like an expanded version of the city. It's not like an infinite version of the city. It's just the same map, just dark mode, basically.
Yeah.
And so you can also go in there to grind out levels and everything. But again, it's just not overwhelming, because it's not this like infinitely expanding space or like this endless section. They're also really generous about saving. There are save areas in most key moments. So if you're about to enter a boss battle, there's usually a save right before it. They're very generous with that. You can also do a quick save like almost any time. So you can only have one quick save slot. It's one of those like when you boot up the game, you can choose that quick save. I don't think it deletes it upon use like some games will, but you can only have one of those. But they're just very generous about letting you save. This isn't a game where if you pick it up and start playing, you have to play for 30 minutes or you're not going to be able to save and you're going to lose your progress. Like, you really can save pretty much whenever you want, which I appreciate as an adult with things to do. And then the battle system. It's a real-time action game. You have your own...
Hold on. Let me read this from Steven Campos. I have a question for Micah. I'm a fan of the SMT games, especially Persona and Metaphor. I was really excited to play RAIDOU, and then I watched a gameplay video and immediately was like, nope, it's not turn-based. I'm not playing it. Would you still recommend it to someone like me, even though the game isn't turn-based, but more action-oriented? And also, how do you feel about the game not being turn-based like the other SMT games in the series?
Yeah, so I was really unsure if I would like this. Of course, I don't only play turn-based games. I enjoy games like, Kingdom Come Deliverance and like The Witcher. Like, I enjoy that type of combat, right? But I do primarily play turn-based games, or like my beloved, strategy games. I love my little grids, all right? I love moving them little bitches around on grids.
Yeah.
So I was also like, I don't know if I'm going to love this. I really like it, though. So you have like elemental attacks. So you're casting magic. You have sword attacks. You can unlock other weapons later. It's very simple to get into. And then you have enough abilities to keep it fresh, is how I'm going to describe it. You even have a gun, like for doing chip damage, or you use it strategically. If you have flying type enemies, it like slows them down or stuns them. So you can get like better chances at a critical hit, basically. But if you're on the fence about it, I don't know if this game got a demo, but it is really fun. It's genuinely a lot of fun for someone like me who prefers turn-based games. This is a nice change of pace. It is not a complicated battle system. You're not going to be, hitting your head against the wall saying like, I don't know how to beat this guy, or I don't understand how to do combos. It's not like the Xenoblade games or anything where it's like, you got to read a fucking book to understand it. So if you love the aesthetics of Persona games and just like the demons and everything, in the Shin Megami Tensei world, I would recommend it just if you're just a fan in general of these games, because it's cool to like your demons, like they talk to you and shit, and like they scavenge and they'll be like, oh, I got something for you, boss. Like, I don't know, they all have their little personalities that you're kind of familiar with. And of course, the fusion aspect, you're fusing demons together to get new and stronger ones. And if you love those aspects of the games, that's all here too. You're just fighting in a different style. So I would still recommend it, even if you're a bigger fan of turn-based games. And again, it's a shorter game because this is something that you could complete, in let's say 25 hours, as people are estimating. It's not like you're locking in for your traditional 100-hour experience with one of these games and you're stuck with this battle system the whole time. You're logging in for a much shorter, playthrough. And so if you don't 100% love it, you're at least not, on the hook for playing it for that long. But I think it's awesome. In the battles, like you call upon a couple demons, like I have 2 at a time right now. I don't know the extent of how many you can call on, but I can call on 2 demons at a time. I usually have like my healer and then whatever element the enemy's weak to. I have my own elemental attacks. A really cool thing though that I love is you're not locked into this party. So if you start the battle and you're like, oh my God, I brought the ice demon and I need the fire one, some games wouldn't let you switch out. You have to, leave and come back with the correct party. In this game, you summon your demons willy-nilly, so you just switch them out. And your own abilities, you can just switch out. If I have my fire ability selected and I need my electric ability, I can switch that out mid-battle. That makes it much more approachable for what we're doing here. And it's just a lot more fun that way. Instead of saying, oh, I had the wrong party, I got to leave and come back. You just switch it all out on the fly. So I would like highly recommend it. Even if you're saying, oh, I'm not too sure, it's extremely approachable and really fun. I like turn-based games partly because it feels very low stress to just be able to sit and consider your options, weigh your choices and all that. And while this combat is fast-paced, it's just really balanced. That's the best word I can use for it. I don't ever feel like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like you might take a couple tries at like a boss, for example, if you're me and like still kind of unsure of it's like some of the options, but it really does, like it'll click with you and you'll say, oh my God, like this is exactly what I need to do. It's so simple once you figure it out. So, and another great thing is that demons that aren't actively in your party still get XP. That is a like A plus from me. When games give non-active party members XP, huge, like big win. I think the last couple things I'll say, I had to switch the voices to Japanese, not because the American voices are bad, they were fine, but during battle, there are so many call outs and I got really sick of it.
Games, yeah.
You have a cat companion who's like fucking awesome. All right, I love Cat Friend, he's great. But he will give you hints, but he'll be like, use your gun every like 5 seconds. It's like, bro, I know to use the gun. I know. It's like, shut up, Mimir. Shut the fuck up, Mimir. I couldn't stand him. And that's why I didn't finish God of War. That's why I didn't fucking finish it. So I was like, I would take Mimir's head and shove it in the fucking river and leave it there. Anyways, So I had to shut him up, and the best thing I could do was make him Japanese, so I couldn't understand what he was saying. And now it's great. It's the same with the other demons too, because they have their little quips, but there's only like 3 quips. So I just got sick of it. So I switched all that to Japanese just because I didn't want to hear it constantly.
Right.
And yeah, I recommend this game. I highly recommend this game if you're just a fan of Shin Megami Tensei and Persona in general. I think you'll have fun with it. There's, the systems get pretty deep with fusing the demons and creating new weapons, but it's just like in those games, it's as deep as you want it to be. In Persona, for example, I was the person who was perfectly content to just kind of like level up my demons along the way, but I wasn't trying to fuse every possible combination. I wasn't trying to meet every single persona that you could get. I was just like, all right, I can make a stronger one, I'll do it. So this is one of those, if you want to be like a completionist and you want to try and find them all, Pokemon style, whatever, like you can fucking do that. If you're like me and you just want to fuse the demons that you need for the task at hand, or like just have them continually get stronger with you, the fun and excitement of, oh, I'm level 21, I can finally fuse that guy I've been waiting to fuse, right? That doesn't wear off either. So I'm having a blast with it, and I do recommend it to anyone who's like on the fence. I think it's really interesting and unique, and the story so far has got its hooks in me. I don't always love mystery and like detective type shit, but this is really good and well written so far. So I'm having a fantastic time with it.
Is like the conversations between characters like visual novel style, how it's presented?
Oh yeah, kind of. So yeah, you'll have like your character, they'll pop up on screen and like they do kind of move and shit, but yeah, like they're on screen and like their dialogues beneath them. There are cut scenes. There are some. So there are scenes that you'll watch play out, but for the most part, you're walking up to someone and like their portrait, that's the word I want. Their portrait's popping up with the dialogue underneath it. And the cutscenes that are in there are well done. That's another thing to note is the camera is fixed in the game. So like when you're exploring the city, it's one of those things where like if you're like running down Main Street, you're going to see yourself running towards the screen, towards you, the player. You don't have control over the camera. That's something that at first I was like, oh no, but you get used to it, and it's another reason why it's a benefit that the areas are pretty small, like the map sections, because not being able to control the camera is a little annoying, but you won't get too turned around since these sections are pretty small to begin with.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this was a PS2 game originally. I looked up, so yeah. It'll be smaller in that regard. Very cool, Micah. I would like to play this, but you know how it goes. Maybe when the game's like to play $20.
But you're playing Wind Waker for the 15th fucking time.
That's true, yeah.
You're like, when am I supposed to play these games? I gotta play this old nugget I found for the 20th time. I can't fucking stand it.
And I'm playing Death Stranding. And Elden Ring, Night Rain. Shit, Micah.
Brad, you're like, I gotta play my 50th Pokemon game. They're all the same.
I haven't played Pokemon in like a month.
Brad, because you played like 10 in a row. You finally got burnt out. You were like, I feel
someone on Punching Up's got to have some Pokemon knowledge, all right?
They don't.
So I'll do
they
it.
don't. Nobody needs to
true.
have it.
That's true. I would argue so.
See? Yeah, there you go.
I'd argue that you don't have to play things that are mediocre simply because the world loves
context.
them.
Well, you gotta know. You gotta know that they're mediocre.
Oh, we know. Chris, we know. We grew up with the Pokemans. We know. Psyduck.
I know.
All right. You're looking at Psyduck and you're thinking, wow, cool. And here's the thing, Chris. Here's the thing. They've only gotten worse since then. If Psyduck was like peak Pokemon, and you're like, this is the peak. This is the pinnacle.
Psyduck was never peak Pokemon necessarily, but like
peak era.
It was peak era. You're right.
Exactly.
Right.
That was the best they had. And now it's gotten so much worse.
But
there's an ice cream Pokemon.
I saw the ice cream stuff was weird to me, but then it was just like, I don't know, man. Like the first generation had like magnets and like, you know what I mean? Like the first generation was weird with that stuff too, so I didn't mind. The motorcycle.
Yeah. There's keys also.
That's the motorcycle was too much for me. There's something about the tires. I don't know. That was a bit much.
Yeah. No, I get it. All right. Well, Micah, also, I want to play Fantasian over this, so.
Oh, what? Fantasian Neo Dimension?
Mm-hmm.
That I never got to that one. I heard decent things.
Yeah, well, it's Sakaguchi and stuff, so I do want to play it. And I want to finish Unicorn Overlord someday. So.
You're never going to finish it, Bradley. That was my game of the year last year.
I've played many Vanillaware games, so.
I'm not going to finish it. You people let me down with that one. You people collectively. Only Jaffe understood my excitement for it. And my enthusiasm.
I mean, I played some of it, but I didn't finish it. No. It was good. I'll continue to let you down.
You do, because you know what, Bradley, and I'm hashing it out again. I can't believe you didn't tell me that Final Fantasy 16 was on Xbox. I can't believe you didn't tell me.
It's like
all of you people. I'm mad at all of you collectively.
Why are you so antagonistic today?
She does this, dude.
No, Christopher, you don't understand, okay? I am on a show with Brad every week. And for months, I was like, man, as soon as Final Fantasy 16 comes to Xbox, I'm going to play it. And not one of you people told me about it. Not one.
You maybe told me that like a year ago.
No, I mentioned it so recently, dude. I mentioned it so recently that I was still waiting for it to come out on Xbox. And I'm mostly mad at Colin because, of course, he lives here. And he was like, oh, yeah, I forgot you wanted to play that. And it's like, but I'm mostly also mad at Bradley because I see him every week.
Whatever. The game's like 2 years old, man. You could have played it anytime.
I couldn't. It wasn't on Xbox.
You have two PlayStations in your house.
There's 3 here, Bradley. There used to be 4, and we gave one away.
Yeah, well, you got 3, so you have no excuse.
No, I have an excuse. It's that I don't want to use the PlayStation because it stinks.
Well, enjoy while you can, because your Xbox console's going away, Micah. Slowly but surely.
They're not going to take it from me, Brad. I'm going to have the console.
Yeah,
they're not just going to come in here and
Phil's coming over. Yeah.
Phil's coming.
The PlayStation cops are coming. Phil's taking it. Contraband.
Phil Spencer is going to pop in with his little repossession truck.
Yeah.
If Phil Spencer comes in here, I'd be like, come on, have a seat. You want some Cheetos or something? Cheez-Its, you know?
He's going to walk in like he's giving it either. He's like, here at Xbox, we're taking away your things.
Yeah.
And like a bunch of people in fucking crazy hoods are going to like run into your apartment and steal your shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, don't worry, there's still a way to play your games. It's called a PC.
On the cloud. Yeah. Still play it on the cloud. All right. Next game I just want to briefly talk about, which I played at Summer Game Fest and the embargo's up, so I'll just talk about it real quick, which was King of Meat. This is made by Glowmade, a British studio, published by Amazon. Me and Dustin both played this, by the way. This is a co-op party game. Like, basically, I'd boil it down as to, it's like Little Big Planet in the sense that you can make a bunch of levels, but you are these little like medieval knights guys running around in a TV broadcast in a fantasy world. So you can go through these stages. I think there's like 100, they said, dev levels though. So if you're not into building, there is at least something to play there. But it's kind of like Fall Guys mixed with like a dungeon crawler in the sense, like there is combat and all that kind of stuff, but there's like tons of platforming. It's definitely one of those games of like, hey, you like Mario Maker, you like Little Big Planet, you like making these levels for people to go through. You could torture them, you could put traps in there and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna have a lot of fun with that thing. Maybe also if you're like playing with friends, or if you're a parent playing with your kids, they could have a really good time around there. The tools, I built a little level really quick in it, and very surprisingly easy to do. I was kind of like, oh, this works really well. Everything just kind of snaps together. You can put stuff like flamethrowers and all that fun stuff, death pits, bunch of cool stuff, and you have to run through it, and you can run through it with your friends. So if you like all that kind of stuff, like I know, like Roblox is really big and stuff like that. User-generated content's always been big in games, but I think if you're into that kind of stuff, you may have fun here. I don't know the longevity of the game, of course. I don't know. I just played like 30 minutes of the game, so I just got a little taste. But I thought everything was pretty decent overall. Like the combat, you could parry, dodge, all that kind of stuff. There's a bunch of different weapons you can use. Lots of customization. Your character, you can get like little eagle helmet and all that kind of stuff. You want to run around looking like a little eagle calling at people. Nights. There is a hub area where everyone can kind of just hang out. I think they said like 32 players, and it's all very charming. It has like a a game show vibe to it. So there's like hosts running through and narrating as you're going through all these levels and crowds cheering. So it's pretty cute in that regard. It's coming to everything pretty much, and not Switch 2 though. It's on Switch 1.
Oh.
But they're putting it on the stinky Switch 1. They're ignoring it. Switch 2 for now. Of course, you'd play it on Switch 2 though. But I just want to talk about briefly. It was cool. I don't know if I would play a whole lot of it because I don't just play a lot of those kind of games. But like I was saying, if you're into making games like Mario Maker, Little Big Planet, whatever the hell else kids are playing nowadays, there could be some fun there. If you're curious, check out the trailer. We'll see. I'm curious to see how it comes out. And I was like just seeing what kind of crazy shit people make in these games because I remember when I saw people making stuff in Dreams, I was like, holy moly. It's not like that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
No one's making Sonic the Hedgehog like they were in Dreams and stuff like that. But could be something interesting, a little charming. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it real briefly because like I said, I only played a little bit of it, but me and Dustin seem to have a pretty decent time playing it. All right, let's move on from that just real quick, and we'll go to Sort It Out. Mike, I have a Sort It Out for you.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know. I'm gonna make you feel guilty about not finishing games in the future. So here we go. Oh no, I'm just kidding. But on this segment, it's just about anything in the game industry that we think needs work, we're not happy with. Could be a game, company, human being, whatever. How personal you want to get. I'll start. This one's weird, but I've just been thinking about it because it's been in the news. The rumored, well, everyone's kind of confirming that's happening. The Microsoft layoffs. We're getting more. Could be really bad. Someone was saying like 1,000 people, perhaps. Maybe whole studios closing. Not good. Very scary. Don't like to see that. So, I don't know, man. They've had many layoffs in the past like 18 months. They've probably let go of thousands of people at this point. So, I don't know, man. You don't like to see it. We don't like when people get laid off, of course.
Yeah.
But it is Microsoft, and they've spent a lot of money recently. So, it is very... It's not strange, I guess, but it is frustrating when they spend all that much money to get things and they're just canning a bunch of other people. But who knows? Maybe it'll be like games that didn't perform well. Studios like Turn 10's rumored to be one, which is for Forza Motorsport and all that kind of stuff. And that game didn't really light the world on fire. Maybe the guys that did South of Midnight, I don't know, because that game was South of Mid. I know, I'm sure people made that joke many times. That is the one game I never done this, but I skipped combat in the game after a point. I set it to skip combat because it was so boring. I was like, wow,
Oh, really?
you made me do that. That's really not good.
That was like that Southern Bayou type. Okay. All right.
Really nice presentation. Gameplay. Pretty boring. Would not recommend it from that front.
Yeah, I skipped it. And I was actually kind of like, oh, it looks kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, oh, this looks cool.
And then I just never got around to it.
Yeah, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really need
Seems
it.
like it.
You're good. But yeah, that's just for me. Micah, what do you got? Anything that you think needs sorting?
Honestly, the further that we kind of get away from the Switch 2 launch, I really do think it was a mistake for Nintendo to not have Donkey Kong ready at launch. Just as we move away these like couple weeks since then, I've pretty much dropped Mario Kart at this point. It's fun. It's fun when you want to pick it up, but I knew this would happen. That's like, yeah, I'm not gonna play this for 100 hours. I checked it out and it's cool and it's fun, but I'm just not super into it. And now I'm literally just waiting for the next Switch 2 exclusive to come out. My copy of RAIDOU Remastered, I got the Switch 1 version because I didn't want the key card. So it's like I'm playing Switch 1 games technically. So yeah. I do think Nintendo made a mistake just not having 2 fucking games at launch, like two like Switch
first
2
party
exclusives.
Big games.
Exactly. Because even so, it's like, I mean, we got Bravely Default, Flying Fairy edition. It's like, this is a 3DS game remastered.
Right.
It's just, I don't know, man. I do just kind of keep thinking the further away from launch that we are, like, we should have put some more games out.
Yeah, I get you.
That Donkey Kong game looks pretty cool.
It looks amazing. I'm super excited for it.
Although there's a part in the trailer or like the overview or whatever that they did where they just kind of drop a gameplay mechanic on you and you're just kind of supposed to accept it. Where they're just
What's
like
your mechanic?
It's the one where it's like it's a straightforward Donkey Kong game until the announcer goes and Donkey Kong can transform into a zebra.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I remember just being like, oh, okay. And then and then he's got like a bunch of different transformations after that, and then you're kind of used to it. But like that zebra that spiraled me out of control, dude. I was like, yo, that's whiplash, like crazy. But that game looks great.
Yeah,
that game looks great.
I'm
actually interested in that one.
Yeah. I'm super excited about it. It's coming out on my birthday, so it's even better.
Yeah.
And I like redid my order on Amazon Prime. So hopefully I'll get it on release day. Yeah. And instead of waiting a week for Target. But I keep thinking to myself, I knew I wasn't the target audience for Mario Kart. I knew that. But I'm already moved on to greener pastures. I'll come back to it now and then, I say. But this just feels like in terms of just the actual launch of the console, it's just a bit anticlimactic. So it's like, it's here. And all I got is Mario Kart and all my old games. I know people are thrilled with the performance enhancements for, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and that's excellent. It's a big reason, to move over to Switch 2 is the performance enhancements on some of these Switch games. But just in terms of like the excitement factor, I don't know. Having Link's Awakening run better on Switch 2 isn't exciting, as a brand new Switch 2 exclusive game.
Yeah. For me, it is because I'm like, the game runs good actually now.
It ran fine on the Switch 1, Bradley. I played the whole thing. on Switch 1. I didn't notice anything wrong with it. Same with Echoes of Wisdom. These games ran fine to begin with. You can't see
frame rate. We've known this. We have to do the test. The frame rate.
I'm frame rate blind.
And welcome to
there's a frame rate test?
Yeah.
That's kind of awesome.
It's like, which one's 30? Which one's 60?
Dude,
which one's 60? Which one's 120?
Link's Awakening, I loved it until it got to the point where it was just, it just wouldn't fucking run. And I just remember being like, why is this happening? This is such a simple fucking game. Insane. But that game was gorgeous. I loved Link's Awakening when I was playing it. And Tears of the Kingdom, I tried to jump back into Tears of the Kingdom recently because I was like, oh, yeah, I really loved this. And then I jump into it and then it's like, it's like I don't even know how to. It's like 10 frames a second where I'm at right now,
running around.
And I was just like, oh, I remember why I put this down exactly here.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
It's so nice on Switch 2 now. It's crazy.
I bet, yeah.
You guys are just frame racists. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
I refuse to join in.
Yeah. I'll discriminate all day against those frames. No problem.
Micah,
I'll be a frame bigot any day.
Mike, I have a dream.
Yeah.
That one day games will run at a reasonable fucking frame rate.
They already do. 25 is perfectly reasonable.
No, that's crazy. That's so insane. Oh, God. God help us.
That's really funny. All right. Chris, anything for you this week?
This is sorted out?
Yes.
I was going to go with Xbox again, but for a different reason.
Okay.
Is it about the Ozempic? Is it because Phil Spencer lost all the weight?
Is he on Ozempic?
I don't know. I mean, speculation because he just suddenly looks very trim.
It is funny. It is funny that everybody who's been trying to lose weight for years, suddenly in the last like two and a half years, just looks fantastic. And then everybody's like insisting, like, no, it's not Ozempic. It's like, brother, come on.
If you're on if you're on Ozempic, just say you're on Ozempic.
Yeah, like I don't care. I don't give a shit. It's like fine. If it's that effective, like sure. Why not? Who cares? But no, it's not an Ozempic related sorted out. It's the this and I might have brought this up before, but I'm still livid about it. So I'm gonna bring it up again. But this not having the lack of a Gears collection to me is still bewildering and insane and infuriating. And I can't let it go. And what really cemented this for me was the fact that like there was a beta, right? There was a beta for Gears Reloaded.
Yeah.
Gears of War Reloaded that apparently was kind of like a mess. Although I don't know, some people were having fun with it, some people who like it wasn't functioning correctly. Fine. They said that, and I could be misremembering, but they said that if you own it already, you're gonna get invited to the beta or whatever.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I remember that, and I got nothing. I've had Gears of War Ultimate Edition for fucking a long ass time. Not a single code. So thanks a lot for that. But also, why are we doing this piecemeal thing now? We just had and obviously it's a facetious question. I know why. It's so they can sell it to you for $40, and then they're going to sell you Gears 2 for $40 and 3 for $40. I get it. There's money in it, but it's so much lamer than like the Master Chief Collection is.
Right.
And as like a celebration. And also I feel like, I don't know, man, I worry that people are going to play Gears 1 and they're going to be like, this is it.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas I really feel like 2 and 3 are like really, 2 in particular is just so great. Where
Two's
I'm
my
like,
favorite.
2's the best. And so like, I don't know. It's a strange strategy. And I saw like some negative press happening from it because like the game is so that game from a multiplayer perspective, and this is the first way that people are going to interact with it, is mega specific.
Yeah.
That would be like if the demo for Brutal Legend was like the multiplayer, you know what I mean? Like that would be like, that's such a specific way to interact with this game that has nothing to do with how the single player functions at all. You're not wall bouncing and like fucking doing all these like weird multiplayer glitches in single player or like or co-op or whatever. It's like it's such a different vibe. And so like I saw a lot of people getting turned off, which is like,
could you imagine
bummer.
that's your first experience with Gears of War? Some guy bouncing around like a pinball.
Yeah, some
when
guy
you're playing
some
multiplayer.
guy
What is
bouncing
this?
around like fucking Flubber at like Mach 10, and he's been playing it for 15 years.
Yeah.
So you're just thrown into the deep end basically with a bunch of people who have not stopped playing Gears of War for the better part of 20 years. Nice. Like I don't know, man. It's interesting choice. I would have gone with a collection. I understand that it's money. I think it's a lame choice.
No, I get you. I totally understand that. I see both sides of the argument, but as like a fan,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play through Gears 1 again. I'm
Well,
good.
No, Brad, you have to play it again.
No, I don't. I've played that game many times.
Oh, okay. So that's the line. You won't
Yeah, I
play
don't need to
Gears
hear
again, but
For the 100th time from Marcus going "Dom" or shit like that. I don't need to see that. Yeah.
I can't believe you right now, Brad.
Now when they do 2, maybe I might revisit 2 because I haven't played 2 and 3 as much as I played 1.
You won't. You'll
Why
just
not?
say that to placate me.
Nah,
You're
put
not
it
going
on
to
Game
play
Pass.
it.
I can get my money back easily. It won't cost
You're
me
like,
a thing.
oh, Dom's just going to be like, where's my wife? You know, the
That's
whole
true.
time.
Yeah. Marcus, I miss my wife. Yeah, like every fucking game.
Marcus, man.
Shut up, Dom.
I lost my picture of Maria, by the way, because there was
You had
one of the games
you had a
that
picture of
came with
Maria?
it.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it was like an item.
It was a
in one of
collector's
the
edition, yeah.
games. Yeah, and I had it, and I realized it's gone, and it's just like a little sad. It's like, oh no, there goes
that
a
is
picture of his
hilarious.
wife.
It's hilarious to imagine that like somewhere there's just a loose photo of Maria from Gears of War just like flowing in the like that landed on someone's windshield.
Yeah, it's
And they're just
Dom
like, what the
Maria.
fuck? Is that Maria from Gear? Like, I like that they would know. But I don't know, man. Gears of War 2, I would definitely like. The thing is, I've played Gears of War 1 like way too many times at this point. Like, I like it, but it's also my least favorite of the 3. So I'm like,
Ooh.
I'll play Gears 2 like a million times. I love Gears 2. It's fucking damn near perfect. But
No, Gears 2
Oh,
is
is this it?
amazing. Oh, well, so yeah, this guy put it up on his mantle.
oh, that's so funny.
And in the comments, someone's like, I used to carry that photo in my wallet.
Oh man. Okay, we're back. We had a little technical snafu. Maria
Yeah.
Ghost
You're being haunted by Maria's ghost.
interfered.
Yeah, Maria broke everything. But now look, Baird is here.
Oh, look,
Yeah,
it's
like-
Baird.
And
Pulling
with
up her Baird figure.
yeah, and he's got it. The tools move on the belt. All right. This is one of my prized possessions, actually. I'm a little.
Yeah.
I couldn't decide to unbox it or not type deal. Like this is one of those. Do you leave it in the plastic or not? But I was like, no, he needs to breathe. He needs to be out here. But sometimes I regret opening it. It was in one of those like clamshell cases, you know.
Whoa.
We all got our
Is
toys.
that the Arbiter? I can't
Yeah.
tell. Okay.
He's
Chief.
I don't know why this is within, like, right in like grabbing distance.
Hey,
It's
But-
always good to have a weapon nearby.
It's always
that
good to
you
have an
throw at
Arbiter next to
intruder.
you. But no, I don't remember. I don't know when the audio cut out or whatever. But I was just basically saying, like, I had an opportunity to buy a Lancer, like a real replica of a Lancer, years ago, and it's the only thing it's the only thing I still think about. Like, damn it, I should have just bought it.
dude, that was
Yes.
cool.
Oh my god! Do you remember the one that was like taxi cab yellow and it had like the white and black checks on it?
I think I know. I think I know exactly which one that one is. Yeah.
That might have been like a GameStop power up rewards thing, and I got a lot of stuff from them over the years. It's actually where some of my claptraps came from, and like my Minecraft like diamond block and stuff is all from that. But that was something I really, really wanted, but I knew I'd never save up the points to get it. And of course, you know, it was discontinued eventually. But that was one of those. Oh man, I should have hoarded my points and actually got that Lancer.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
just. I just remember it was just so. I think at the time it was like 2017, 2016. It was like $300, and I was like, that's ridiculous. Maybe, and then I thought like, it'll be around forever, and now it's like, no, you gotta.
Yeah.
Now it's crazy.
Like double the price now.
Probably
Damn.
absurd.
All right. Shout out, Marcus. Wait,
It's $900 now.
Oh my god. This
Oh, no,
is like
here's-
finding out you should have bought Bitcoin. Like
Yeah. Oh my god, the fucking. Okay, so that's the retro Lancer is $899. The Gears of War 2 Lancer that I was looking at, $2,500
no.
on
Ooh.
on eBay right now.
dude.
Oh man.
God damn it! And
Hey,
the checkerboard
someone
one,
just
the
sent it to
checkerboard
Chris.
one, the checkerboard
Yeah.
one is $500.
I might consider buying that.
Okay.
God damn it!
No,
Damn.
You just don't know though, right? Because like my claptrap robots haven't gone down like super low in price or anything, but they have not climbed. Like I have 2 of them and they're not like wicked expensive. Now I have them because I love them. I don't want to sell them, but they have not gone up to be like, oh, these are $1,000. It's like you can fucking get one of these pretty cheap compared to the original price. So you just never know though. Like I would have expected to be able to pick one of those up on eBay because some guy just didn't want it anymore.
Right.
And now it turns out it's like Antiques Roadshow fucking,
Yeah.
yo, this is worth $1 million.
Antiques Roadshow.
Chris, what did you think about Gears 4 and 5?
I liked them. I didn't hate them as much as I thought I would. I liked 5 a little bit more than 4 because
Yeah, me too.
4's problem is that like it's all robots, and so like
Yes.
satisfying feeling of like cutting through meat or like shooting into there's no
Doesn't feel as good. Yeah.
missing something. But it was fun fighting with Marcus on his tomato farm or whatever the fuck. That was nice.
Oh yeah.
My tomatoes.
There's my tomatoes, dude. There's parts of that game I like. I just think like the core of it's a little bit weird. 5 is better, but they have that weird choice at the end
Mm-hmm.
that I'm like, I don't know why you made this a choice. But the Gears 5 DLC is fucking awesome. There's like a
what is
like
it? I
a
don't even know what it is.
it's called like Hive Busters or something. And it's
Oh,
like,
was it that 3-player mode?
No,
Is
it's
that what it's for? Or was it story DLC?
It was like a full on like story kind of campaign, like a short campaign DLC with like different characters or whatever. But like
okay.
that, I would argue is better than 4 and 5 together. Like that
Wow.
DLC is really good.
It
Like
was
it's
excellent.
genuinely fantastic. But I haven't played it in a while. I should actually play it again. It's been a while.
I love how they did that cliffhanger ending at 5, and
And
you
they
won't
just were
get
like,
it
we
for
don't know
like
how to.
20 years if they ever go
Dude.
back to it.
I cannot express how disappointed I am as like a really big Gears fan. It's like that game came out in 2019.
Yeah.
We've been waiting that long and we know it ain't even fucking close. We're getting a remake and we're getting a prequel. And it's like, this is,
They don't know
But-
what to do.
well, they really messed it up just in terms of the new characters in 4 and 5
Yeah.
were not
What
crowd
was
favorites.
his son's
like
name?
JD,
yeah.
JD, yeah, that's
JD,
right.
Dell, and Kate. And
Kate, yeah.
they're not as much fun as the original characters. Like they're lacking the cheese factor. They're
You gotta have
lacking
cheese.
this.
Yeah.
I mean, there really is like, and I don't know, they're fucking kind of catty with each other, and I just don't like it. They don't feel fun to hang out with.
I think I think that DLC though is they nailed them. Like they have
It's
like
really
a whole. I think it's a bunch of new people too. Like I don't think it's anybody from like a previous game or nothing. It's just like 4 new people.
Cool.
And they're all like great. Like if these were the people like for 4 and like 5, I would have been like, oh, sick. This is great. I love these guys particularly. But
they're trying to tell a compelling story in Gears, and it didn't work for them.
No,
Too serious on that stuff.
Well, and that was a funny thing because the collector's edition that had like the big statue of JD like on the motorcycle, but I was like, I don't want to buy this. Like, what if I don't like him? And that was the correct move. I did not regret not buying that collector's edition statue because I didn't really like him that much as a character. I definitely didn't need that giant statue in my house.
That would be like if Gears 3 came out and your and the special edition was like a bust of Marcus's dad. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah,
I don't want this.
Should have been Big Rig Dizzy. I would have bought 3 of them.
A Dizzy cowboy hat.
I was gonna say, isn't that the cowboy hat guy? Is that guy from 2 or 3?
He's 2.
Remember. Okay.
I think he's in 3 too, but
that's because I'm pretty sure. I think Big Rig Dizzy, that character model, was the multiplayer variant that you could get. Because like I had Mechanic Baird in Gears 3, which they brought back as a skin for Gears 4, and it was like one of the first times I bought a microtransaction because I was like, I am being Mechanic Baird because it's like awesome. He's got his goggles on, like he's welding shit or whatever. It's great. It's really
do you remember your first microtransaction?
Oh, that's a really good question.
I couldn't accurately say, but I know for like when it comes to buying skins in gaming, that Baird skin might be the first and only one I've ever bought.
Interesting.
It must have been like a Halo 5 rec pack or something.
Oh, okay. So you got one pretty late then, Xbox One generation.
Yeah, 2015. Like I didn't care. Like, well, I mean, what do you count as? Because I don't think like map packs are microtransactions necessarily.
No, like I guess maybe like a cosmetic thing, maybe Chris, like the first skin you bought or whatever.
Fuck is the first skin I bought? It's probably a Destiny one, but like late into Destiny 2. That's
pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm not compelled by like cosmetics in first person games particularly. I just don't.
I get that.
And that's what I mostly play. Like I don't really care at all what I look like.
Yeah, I mean, see your character really.
Yeah, I don't. Who cares?
Who cares? Man, Gears of War voices are fun to do.
They are. It's a problem.
So good. All right, Anya.
Anya.
Yeah, she was in one of the games. Like she fought later on, right?
Yeah, she's in 3. You can play as her in 3.
That's it.
Oh yeah, because there's her and then the brown-haired lady you could also play as.
Yeah, who didn't have a name. I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember. It's been too long since I played 3.
My favorite thing about 3 is that he takes his bandana off at the end, and his hairline is so ridiculously small.
It's cooked. Yeah,
it's like a worm's length away from his eyebrows, and it's like,
oh my God, yes.
Your forehead looks ridiculous.
Yeah, he has no forehead, dude.
Like it's like they were afraid to make him look. I feel like they were afraid to make him look like a normal person, so like with like a bigger forehead or like receding hairline. So they were like, let's just make him just make him look like a goddamn Muppet.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, dude.
Are you seeing it? It's so funny.
Dude, it's like fucking God. Hulk Hogan, dude. You look a little weird. You just throw a fucking bandana on.
It's so fun. I was never curious about what he looked like without the bandana.
I forgot. Marcus has like a soul patch and shit too.
That's true. Yeah.
That's so funny, dude.
I feel like they really pronounced it later on though, because I feel like I didn't even notice that in the first one, if it even is there.
Yeah, it's in the first one. I think
I think it's there the whole time.
Like 1 and 3, right? It's not till like 4 he gets the beard, I think, or maybe he does in 3.
Yeah, he gets the beard before, but like I think to me, like the soul patch sticks out so much more. It's kind of like how like I didn't realize Cortana was naked until like Halo 4 or whatever. When there was enough polygons to really like, I was like, damn, what the fuck? She was naked this whole time. I didn't know he had a soul patch until 3.
Dude, soul patch 1 through 3 wasn't until 4.
The iconic Gears of War soul patch.
Dude, the facial hair Gears of War is hilarious.
It is really funny.
All right.
God bless.
God bless. All right. God bless not this name. This is from Nanaki's Red 13-inch rocket. Nanaki's Red 13's real name, by the way.
Great. Oh my god.
Oh god, the fucking cat thing.
I hated him.
Jesus.
Oh my god, I hated him so much.
Nanaki, you hate the Nanaki? All right.
I liked him until
you heard his real voice.
Yeah, there's a moment where he speaks in his real voice, and it's so hilarious how quick I flipped on this guy.
Yeah, the heel turn immediately.
Like immediately, I was like, I want nothing to do with you. There's a scene in Stranger Things, like one of the later seasons of Stranger Things, where like a character dies in like a really stupid way, and it's a really likable character. But like the second he makes the mistake, I was like, oh, I hope you die. And my sympathy immediately went away. And it was the same thing with Red 13. I was like, no, man, you can't. I hope you die, in fact, because I can't hear this. I can't hear this for much longer. It unironically took me out of the game. Like, I think I actually stopped playing the game.
Paused it,
a little bit after that. And now I'm like stuck. I'm like, every time I go back to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I'm at this point where I have to play as, oh my God, it's like a linear section where you have to play as the Kate Sith.
Yeah.
And you have to move boxes around or something. And I just, like, I don't know.
You just got to power through it, Chris. It's like 20 minutes.
Don't, Chris. We're the two angels on your shoulder right now, and I'm like, don't finish it.
I do want to finish it. I'm really close.
No, you don't.
Like, I think I might pay some guy on Fiverr to come over and do it for me. Do the do the Cade Sith linear walkthrough.
Dude, pay me. I'll come do it for you.
Pay me. I'll come do it.
And then you guys can go to Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, that's right.
Why do you always want us to go to Cheesecake Factory, Micah? You're
delicious.
Obsessed with getting us to go to Cheesecake Factory.
Why don't you want to go to Cheesecake Factory, Bradley? Why don't you want to go?
I'm fine with it. But you bring it up an insane amount.
What's your go-to dish at the Cheesecake Factory?
Oh, fish and chips.
Oh, no.
It's not cheesecake?
Well, that's not dinner. You get that last.
I'm not going there for dinner.
That's not dinner. I like the they used to have, I don't know if they still have it, the like pecan turtle cheesecake. It's like the caramel, the chocolate, the pecans. I mean, it's top notch. But yeah, the fish and chips, excellent. Highly recommended. I don't know. It's, you go in there, they got a phone book menu. You can't go wrong, I don't think, with any of it. But except Bradley, he's always wrong, so he just refuses to go.
Last time
no one is amped to go to Cheesecake Factory that I know.
Yeah, it's not an exciting place to go.
What is it's a factory.
Like, it's not though. It's not. It's masquerading as a factory. It's not a factory. If it was a factory, it'd be interesting.
You don't know what's going on back there.
There's no conveyor belts or like weird like pneumatic tubes. So
you want them to shuttle the cheesecake to you like you're at the bank.
You know what actually feels? You know what feels more like a factory? Like these conveyor belt sushi places.
Yeah, Dustin
those
loves
feel like
places.
Factories, and it's delightful. It's a delightful little experience.
Just ask. Is there not one near you, Mike? I forgot.
There is not.
You gotta.
I'm trying to live vicarious. My whole thing, I'm trying to live vicariously through Brad, and he just refuses to do any of the things that I'm asking him to do.
Why me? Why me out of everybody?
Because there's a Cheesecake Factory near you. I don't know anyone else's status with the Cheesecake Factory.
There's a Cheesecake Factory near me too.
There's Cheesecake Factories by Chris.
Yeah,
please go to one.
There's a Cheesecake Factory. There's a Cheesecake Factory literally, I think, 10 minutes away from me.
Chris, I mean, Jesus, go on a date. Go to Cheesecake Factory. Send me a picture of the food.
I'm not taking a date to Cheesecake Factory.
Oh my God. Well, what? You're going to Olive Garden or something? Like Cheesecake Factory isn't good enough?
No, we're going to go to Del Taco.
Yeah. That's a good date.
Oh my God. No, like Guisados or something. There's like a million other, there's a lot of great places to go that are not the Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake
Yeah.
Factory is like for a VidCon meetup or something. You know what I mean? Like you go to like
No. It's way fancier than that. It's way fancier than that.
It's really not.
Yeah.
It's really like it's got the aesthetics of a fancy place, and I appreciate that about it. It's trying hard, and God bless them for it. But like,
Yeah, is
It's
there
the
one in the
Cheesecake
Grove or whatever it's called? I'm trying to remember.
there's one the one that's nearest to me is the one that in the Americana. But like
Okay.
I think there is one in the Grove as well.
This is gonna be like my setup for a Saw movie. Is the two of you are gonna wake up in a dark room and it's like, do you want to play a game? And then like
Yeah,
the
lights will
waitress
go on.
walks up and it's like, welcome to Cheesecake Factory. Like it's
Yeah,
just
the
a
lights
Cheesecake
the lights
Factory.
will go on, and it's just like you rented out an entire Cheesecake Factory.
I just want
All
you guys
right.
to have a meal at Cheesecake Factory. That's the whole Saw movie.
I will try to go to Cheesecake Factory
He won't.
soon.
He won't.
I gotta convince Kristen to go. If she
There's
doesn't
no
want to go, it's not happening.
convincing. It's wonderful. It's a
Micah,
wonderful
you're the only
restaurant.
person that is hyping up Cheesecake Factory this
That is
crazy.
false. That is false. It's a wonderful restaurant to take the whole family or to go for a romantic evening. All right, like there's no convincing Bradley. You just say I'm taking you out
Micah,
to a wonderful restaurant tonight. She'll be like, okay, and then you take her to Cheesecake Factory. She'll be like, oh my god, Bradley. Like,
Micah, I think
it's a
I'd rather go to Chili's.
oh, I fucking love Chili's, dude. If there's a Chili's near you, I'd accept that as
The
a
one
replacement.
near me is gone. I'm
You
sad. I did like the
goddamn it.
Chili's. It's gone. It went out. They took it out. I don't
Oh,
know where there
dude.
is a Chili's anymore near me.
They got the
Yeah,
corn on the cob.
The only Chili's around me is like mega far. It is kind of a shame. There's a lot of places like Quiznos I miss because Quiznos had a chicken they had a
Yeah.
chicken carbonara sub specifically that was so fucking good, and no one else does it. But the nearest Quiznos is like I don't even know in Yellowstone or something. Some fucking crazy
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
So no. Anyway,
All right.
fuck
Let's get back to Nanaki's Red Rocket.
Yeah.
Sup, wankers. I regret that I'm going to have to issue a sorted out to the main man, Brad. When are you going to take Micah to the Cheesecake Factory? No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be crazy.
When are we going to get Derek and Sweeney in the Summon Sign guest chair? The thought of you trying to get these two agents of chaos under control for a normal run of the show sounds like music to my ears. Bonus points if you include David Jaffe as well. Give us chaos, Brad. Much love. I don't know Derek and Sweeney at all.
Yeah, this is why. It's so crazy. It's
I
like,
just don't know
what?
them.
Right. It's like, oh, why isn't Andy Richter on David Letterman? It's not part of the show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
man.
not opposed to it, but I literally just don't know them. I don't know anything about them. That'd
Yeah.
have to be all through Chris. And if Chris thinks
Yeah.
it'd be fun on the show.
Yeah, I mean, they can if they want to do it. But
Yeah,
they-
it's like they don't know what this show is either, probably. So it's like, I don't know.
yeah, they
It's
know
just
of
not
it for
something I've
sure.
really thought about.
Yeah, there's this. It kind of feels like people, when people take like two action figures and they're like kiss kiss. It kind of
Yeah.
feels like it kind of feels like that with this stuff where it's just like, guys, they're only gonna do what, and you know how difficult it is to wrangle these people
Yeah.
to do a show in person.
Yeah.
They live here. They live like 5-10 minutes away from me maximum, and one of them is always like 30 minutes late.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
What if you recorded an episode from a Cheesecake Factory?
Maybe,
That
dude,
sounds
Micah,
like a
if we're
nightmare.
in person, maybe we can do that.
Yeah.
If you have Call and Flip the Bill, I'm in.
Yeah, rent out the entire Cheesecake Factory.
Rent out the Cheesecake Factory, yeah, for an episode.
Yeah, we
so
need
that
a
we can-
we need a private room at
We could shoot
Cheesecake Factory.
all of our shows in there for like a week or something like that.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah. All right. This is from Will Wanker. Sorted out RE development team, Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil. I'm a hardcore RE fanboy, but not including Leon as the main protagonist because he's not suited for horror. Those are quotes, by the way. Is a load of fucking liquor shit. I assume he's a second playable character, but this isn't the point. Wow. Liquor shit. Just for context, some of the devs were saying that in like a video. In my opinion, RE has always been a series about people who are capable, military or otherwise, put in these horror situations. The characters don't have to be scared or reacting to everything like little bitches. The player just needs to feel the tension. No one liked Ethan Winters because he was a bitch and wouldn't shut the fuck up. People didn't like Ethan, or people didn't believe that Ethan could take out all those creatures. Why? Because he was a bitch. So they had to give him superpowers. Now I assume Grace will have some animations that interrupt gameplay because a fucking bucket fell over, which on repeated playthroughs would be annoying. If the player is a bitch, that's fine. I was a scared little bitch in elementary school when I played RE1 on PS1. It wasn't because of the characters reacting to everything like some pussies. It was because I was being a pussy and had limited items and didn't know what was around the next corner. But by the second or third playthrough, I ran through the game like I was the Doomslayer. I'll buy RE9, but I fear that people running RE now are a little out of touch. Just a little. But what makes RE, well, RE, I get it. Leon is a badass who could probably kill everything he encounters, but he isn't Superman and still can't jump over a fucking box. The game can be scary even if you're playing a badass. If you design the game right, looking at you, Joel and Ellie. As an RE fan, I want some closure on the characters I've grown up to love. Those 3D movies don't really answer questions. Where's Claire? Who is she fucking? Did Ada run back to Leon? What the fuck is Jake and Sherry up to? Can we have a Jill and Barry scene? Sort this motherfucking shit out. Hey, Will.
He's passionate.
Yeah, good lord. Hey, Ethan, dude, gets a bad rap. Ethan's just a fucking dad, man. All right?
Yeah, I liked Ethan.
He's just looking for his wife, then he's looking for his daughter. Give Ethan a break.
I like who's the guy who's like Ethan Winter? So that guy's
Oh, that's
Ethan.
the boss. Yeah.
I like that guy a lot. Like Heisenberg.
Heisenberg, yeah.
Yeah, Ethan. Oh, yeah. I love that guy.
Did he sound like that? He's the guy I remember the least from that game for some reason.
He sounds approximately like that.
Yeah.
Ew. God,
I'm the worst of impressions you'll ever hear, but that's what he sounds like in my head.
I think that's the guy that did Astarion in Baldur's Gate. I think it's that voice actor.
I think you're probably right.
I wouldn't know.
You never tried Baldur's Gate, huh?
No. It was intimidating.
I thought, don't you like those kinds of games though? Isn't that like your exact kind of thing?
I've never played one of those. What was a CRPG? Is that what those are? I've never played one of those. And Lockmort was really trying to sell me on it, and he almost did. Bless his heart. But I just kept saying but I don't know if I'm gonna like it. You know, I wasn't sure. It seems really complicated, and I'm not. I don't know if I'm into that.
Sure, it is complicated, but I think they do a good job of making it not feel intimidating. Because I've only played a couple CRPGs, and I really liked that one. It was really good. This whole Resident Evil thing, though, I agree with you on wanting closure for some of these characters, like Jill and Chris. Like, dude, you got to just end their stories, man. You introduced them in 1996. You got to wrap their shit up. Whatever the hell's going on, them just wrap it up.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about this, Chris? About the characters needing them to react and the anger of them not talking about Leon yet?
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with them, but I don't. I'm kind of on both sides here, honestly. Because I do think if I'm playing as Leon Kennedy, it's not a scary game. It just kind of isn't. Resident Evil 4 even was that to me, where it's Resident Evil 4 was not scary. It just and it isn't. 4 is more about tension, combat tension. It's more about, I don't know, man. You're kicking, you're spin kicking zombies.
You are suplexing people, literally.
Yeah, and so
it's sick.
Yeah, it's great. I love it, but it's not a horror game really. No, in a strict sense. And if they want to make a horror game, then I would kind of agree that Leon's kind of not a great fit for that. But at the same time, people love Leon, and Resident Evil is. I feel like Resident Evil transcends horror, kind of, because I feel like Resident Evil is Resident Evil. And I feel like people are down for Leon being in a setting like that. Who cares? People sign up for that. But if that's not what they want to do and they want to go more in a horror route, then I do think maybe going with a different character is probably the better way to go. Because Leon hasn't been a real horror protagonist since 2, you know?
Right.
And 2 remake, I guess, by extension. But I think Resident Evil 9 looks great. I do agree, though. I do hope that there aren't those forced, almost like the God of War kind of cutscenes that kind of happen in the middle of you're just trying to play through the game again, and oh my god, a bucket fell, and it's the same.
No, yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I do get that, but we don't know if that's going to happen or not. So we're a little we're being a little presumptuous in assuming that that's how the game's going to be, because Resident Evil Village wasn't really like that, as far as I remember. Like, it didn't really have any moments that, and if they were, they weren't particularly egregious.
The only thing I remember being annoying about replays of that game was the House Bienaviento part, where you like don't have any weapons and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
The giant baby. It's really cool the first time you do it. Really cool. But it's just one of those things that's not as fun in replays.
Yeah, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like I have it's one of the only VODs I have on my Twitch from like that long ago, of me going through that section for the first time, and it genuinely, like, that is the most scared I've ever been playing a Resident Evil game, for sure. I fucking hated it.
Yeah, that's good shit,
great.
dude.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. This is from the Uncharted Wolf. What's up, summoners? Sorted out to Nintendo. I've been having a blast with Mario Kart World Online, but this latest update has ruined public lobbies for the game. It used to be that if you chose random, you'd always get a guaranteed 3-lap race with the way God intended Mario Kart to be played. After the update, even if you pick random, you have to do an intermission race where you drive in a boring straight line to the next track, with the normal 3-lap races being extremely rare now. Now, I know Chris will say, it's Mario Kart. It's always boring. But this game has generally been one of the most technical installments in the franchise since the Wii. And now this update is Nintendo basically saying you will play these boring intermissions and you will like them. Just give us another option for normal 3-race course lobbies and the whole community will be happy again. Chris, how do you feel about this? Do you agree that it's always been boring?
Look, man, Mario Kart's fine. It's just I don't feel the sense of speed that I want out of a kart racer from Mario Kart. That's really it. It just kind of feels a little bit not on rails, because that's not necessarily the most accurate way to describe it. It just kind of feels a little bit more guided and a little bit less chaotic than I would like. But I mean, it's cute. Like, people play Mario Kart and it's cute. Like, I get it. I get the appeal. And even World, to me, like, looks kind of enticing, because there's those what is it, the grinding mechanics and wall. So it looks like they're doing a little bit more
cool tech. Yeah.
Which is nice, because the issue that I've always had with Mario Kart is that there's no real skill expression in it, outside of just like there's like a maximum amount of good that you can get with it, and it's pretty easy to get there. Like, I've seen people just like get like really good at Mario Kart really pretty easily. And I look at like something like Crash Team Racing or something, where it's just like you have to break that game. Like, you have to break that game, and the game will let you break it. And I love that stuff. So it's just never been my kind of game. I also don't really care about, I think Double Dash I liked, from what I remember. But even that's like kind of like a hate. I remember liking Double Dash, and since then I've heard everybody talk about Double Dash being the best. So like, I don't even know if I really even believe that, or if it's like kind of like mixed into like a cocktail.
It's the best one. It's the best one, Chris.
That's what I remember, but I'm just saying memory is weird sometimes. So, because dude, I remember liking fucking Matt Hazard, you know, like, what is it, Eat Lead, and then I went back and like looked at gameplay of that, and I'm like, well, this is funny at least.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Micah, what do you think about this? Since you've been playing, or you've played quite a bit of Mario Kart.
Yeah, here's the dealio. I got so hooked on Knockout Tour that I didn't give a fuck about the other races, right? Like, I was only playing Knockout Tour pretty much exclusively. The 3-lap races felt kind of boring after that. So I'm in the opposite boat of, I was never trying to do the 3-lap races. I just, Knockout Tour is so exciting. All right, you gotta make the certain place, or you don't get to continue. Oh,
yeah, that's a good idea.
Dude, yeah, and that was what I played pretty much exclusively. So the problem with like segmenting the online lobbies like further, as we all know, is like, well, you're gonna end up with like dead modes, right? And Nintendo, like, yeah, if you add like a 3-lap lobby, then people are gonna flock to that, and then the regular one's gonna be harder to get races in potentially. So it's just, they're just going to lump you guys all together. It sucks, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I don't have a problem with it. But I sympathize with the people who just want to play those online and they're stuck doing the intermission stuff. I don't love the races between the races. I don't love that feature. It's an interesting idea and it makes sense that they tried it, but I personally don't really like it either. So like I'm with you guys in terms of, yeah, I wish you had these choices, but personally it's not the one I'd choose to play. So I'm indifferent.
How do you feel about that open world thing that they have in there?
It kind of sucks, to be honest. Like it's not great. It's unless you want to do all the time trials and everything. Like
honestly,
it's not great.
I'm looking at it and I kind of dig whatever. Like I like because I remember being a kid and like playing like multiplayer shooters or whatever, and like looking out and like you'll see like you'll hit like the invisible wall up a mountain and you can't go, and you always like wonder like, oh, what's on the other side of this, and it's usually probably nothing. But I love the idea that like even if there is nothing out there and it's like this big empty kind of map, I like the idea that you can just go around and just kind of go wherever.
Yeah,
I love that.
Coherently I like put together.
Yeah, I like freedom like that, even if there's nothing there. I dig it.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. It's a novel thing, I would imagine.
Well, and the big draw is that, yeah, they're like these P switches to hit and they kick off these little time trials and like there's stuff to find. But if there's something I hate in games more than anything, it's time trials. And so like I have zero interest in doing those. Like I hate being timed on shit, dude. Like, oh my God, I had never felt such a rage as when I was playing The Blob 2. And I was just like, this is madness. So I'm just not into it. And then too, like we talked about on Punching Up of like, I wish you could get out of your car. Like you watch the other characters get out of the car and like go in the restaurant. It's like, I want to go in the restaurant. You know, I don't know. It feels like a cool idea, but I don't love the final result. If they do it in the next one in 10 years and it's a little more alive and you can do a bit more, then it'd be even cooler. But as it stands right now, it's like, yeah, it's cool at first. And then you're just driving around in a mostly empty world and that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't done a lot, but Chris, I'm kind of with you in that mindset of like, it's just cool to be able to see how everything connects and actually get to explore every nook and cranny of it. Because I remember playing old Mario Kart games and being like, wish I could kind of see beyond this, but
it's
interesting from that perspective.
It doesn't add a lot of like gameplay value, but there's something experiential about it that I think is kind of cool. It reminded me of like I remember when I was like a kid, and even this is sort of true of like some. I know Call of Duty did this with like their battle royale mode, where like they had like it was like a bunch of multiplayer maps and they connected them with like an open world. And I thought like I remember thinking back in the day of like, oh, it'd be so cool if you could walk from like one multiplayer map to the other. Like that'd be so sick.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it wasn't really that fun to do it, just the fact that knowing that you could is neat.
Yeah.
I feel that way about Cyberpunk too. Like the freedom that you have in Cyberpunk to like jump. Like if you can find a ledge and with the double jump or whatever, you could go to places that like they had no intention of you going. And I love being allowed to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with you. All right. Time for Keep It Up. The exact opposite stuff we're pleased with in gaming. I'll just go first right away. Kojima. Way to go, man. You're killing it right now. Me and Chris are going to talk about it more later on the show, but yes, so far, yes is all around. All right. Chris, anything for you this week?
I mean, that was going to be mine as well.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, there's not a lot going on right now that is particularly optimistic. We've got layoffs. We've got,
yeah,
it's just a lot of not great stuff. So I would say like, yeah, man, Kojima Productions, keep it up. It's the run has been crazy. In my opinion, I know people feel weird about Metal Gear Solid 5. I actually quite like it.
From a narrative perspective, I don't like it so much, but gameplay, I think mechanically it works really well.
Yeah, and there's actually a lot of. I mean, this is true of the first Death Stranding too, but there's a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5 in.
Yeah, totally. I see shades of it when I'm playing, definitely.
But yeah.
All right, Micah, what about you though? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it up to Atlas. This RAIDOU, remastered game. This is a game I'd never personally heard of. It's a game I never would have played or explored before. I know that people get sick of the remakes and the remasters but it's because we can admit that some of them do feel unnecessary. It's The Last of Us for the 5th time, and we've tweaked it again. They sweat a lot now, like cool. And you do sometimes feel like that was just unnecessary.
Sure.
You know, it feels like a cash grab. I can really appreciate a remake or remaster like this, where it's a game I hadn't heard of, would never have gone and found and explored. And now they've brought it to me, and I'm a big fan of it now. So shout out to them. Keep doing it. These are the types of remakes and remasters that I'm all for, and that I want to see more of.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Let's see here. This is from Optimus Pounds. BCM. Got to send a huge keynote up to Valve for the perennial Steam Summer Sale tractor beam poll. Every year I say it won't get me, but I got. It's the sole reason I look at my library sometimes and think, where the fuck did this come from? This year, it's indie games like Felvidek, Cast and Chill, and a nice discount on First Berserker. Yeah, Steam sales are dangerous. Very dangerous. I have bought so much shit on there I've never played. I'm like, oh, it's $3. How could I not buy this?
Yeah, $3 is such an enticing, particularly.
Yeah.
Like,
dude,
like
$2
I think,
for all of Monkey Island, the entire series? Yeah, I'll buy that.
yeah, I bought, was it the Insane Trilogy?
Yeah.
Because it was like $3 or $4 or whatever, and I was like, oh, yeah, for 3 Crash games on Steam, even though I own it on PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Why not?
No, that's why not. That's why.
No, because
Well,
like
you can play it on a Steam Deck. That's
yeah,
what he's
that's the thing. Because I'm not touching my Switch, man. I'm not like that thing's running at like 10 frames a second. I can't do it. The Switch is aesthetically, it's a piece of aesthetics on my shelf at this point. And I don't really feel like playing it on a main console all that much. I'm definitely not going to sit at my desk to play Crash Bandicoot on PC. But if I got it on my Steam Deck, I can play it in bed. I got a nice frame rate on it. Some nice LOD on Crash's weird fur.
Yeah.
That's a good. Yeah, I don't know. Arguably, realistically, I should have just waited until it was on. I should have just bought it on PC in the first place and just waited to get a Steam Deck, because it's honestly the only place that I would want to play it.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot is a portable game to me now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would sit and play on like a big TV like the original Crash Bandicoots again. Because even back then, when I would play Crash Bandicoot, it wasn't on like a 55-inch display.
Yeah, it was like 12-inch.
Yeah, it was like, it felt like, I don't know, it felt like quaint.
Small. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too big now. Absurd.
Everything's huge now, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. This is from Daniel Ross. Hey, Brad, and this week's Summoned. A little Keep It Up to Platonic. They have been quietly working away on Ukulele Replay, and after playing the demo, I'm sold. As a backer of the original, I was impressed with how much better the game felt to control and play. Hopefully they knock it out of the park when the full game releases, and a future Tukulele is in the works. I prayed that with this and Donkey Kong Bonanza releasing this year, we might see a buddy duo platformer resurgence. Just need the Xbox team to get their heads out of their asses and make that Banjo remake.
So crazy.
Last time
this is like,
Microsoft had anything to do with Banjo, we got nuts and bolts. So,
well, hey man, that was kind of sick.
No, it wasn't, Chris.
It was kind of cool.
No, it wasn't.
It was kind of cool.
I always yell. Me and the audience always fight about this.
It was a neat little game. It should not have been fucking Banjo-Kazooie at all, because what the fuck were they doing?
Right.
But I don't know. I kind of liked the mechanic of it. It wasn't a full game though. That should have been like that would be like if Halo was just Forge mode, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, this isn't really anything. You know?
Yeah. I played Ukulele when it came out back in the day, and I didn't really enjoy it, which is a bummer because I loved all the games that it was inspired from. But I'm hopeful about this whatever they're retooling of it.
Ukulele Replay.
Yeah. So I hope it's good. I'll definitely keep an eye on it. Chris, I know you like PS1 era platformers and stuff like that, but did it ever go beyond the PS1 for you?
Honestly, no, I don't think so. Like, I think I think it really was the last generation where I was focused on that stuff. Because I think with PS2 and Xbox, Xbox, I was obviously on Halo and like Splinter Cell and other things. And then PS2 was just a Dragon Ball machine for me. Like I was playing like the Budokai games and just a lot of fighting games, like Mario vs. Capcom. I'd play on it. And so like I didn't even really play like Jak and Daxter or like Ratchet and Clank. I like kind of missed those. But yeah, I mean, it did kind of begin and end with the PS1, largely because I think after that it kind of became not in vogue to do them.
Sure. Yeah.
The PS3 and 360 had like I genuinely can't even think of, I can't even think of one, sincerely, from the PS3 360 generation. And then by the time Ukulele came out, I was kind of like, oh, I want that, but also like I don't trust anybody to make these well anymore. And so like I completely skipped out. And then when I heard about how, oh yeah, it's kind of okay, I just remember being like, I know people talk about Hat in Time.
Yeah, that was a cool game.
Which is nice. But I do have to, I mean, Astrobot was the most recent, like where I was just like, it recaptured it, where I was just like, oh my God, finally.
That's good.
Like we have a platformer that's just really, really fucking solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love those games and I have a soft spot for them. But I do think, I don't know, it takes a lot to make a good one for me.
Yeah. You don't have a Switch 2. Are you going to try to play Donkey Kong in any way? Are you going to try to borrow someone's?
Maybe. I don't. When's it come out? What's the release date?
July 17th.
Oh, July. Oh, that's pretty close. I'll probably wait. I mean, I'm not too concerned about like spoilers. So like I think I'll probably pick up a Switch 2 at some point. I just don't care to get it right now. I want to have like a little bit more of a I don't know,
more games.
Something waiting. I'm definitely not gonna play Cyberpunk again on Switch. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking crazy. But
you can play Kingdom Come Deliverance on Switch.
Yeah, sure
I can't even acknowledge what you just said.
It's the optimal way to play the game.
That's so crazy. Did you actually play through the entire? Did you play all of Kingdom Come Deliverance on Switch?
Yeah.
You beat it.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
This is the first one, right? The second one's not on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the second one on Xbox because I wasn't going to wait for a Switch port, and I didn't want to play it like that. That would have been absurd. It's serious talk. It's not a super good port. It does work though. It does work. You know, it doesn't look good. Right. Or always play very well. You can't go out at night because you can't really see what's happening. Yeah. But it's otherwise
right. It doesn't look good, feel good, play good, sound good, or is good. It doesn't any of that. But
oh my God!
But it works.
The loading screens were literally like 60 seconds at times, just fucking waiting.
Oh, that's classic. That's Skyrim on PS3 time. That's awesome. God bless.
Isn't that how Colin played it too? Skyrim?
Yeah, that's why he doesn't like it, I think. Because like
how could you like it if you played on that?
I would have also hated Skyrim if I played it on PS3 because like I did play.
What a nightmare.
I remember I did play it on PS3 at a friend's house before I bought it for myself. And he had it on PS3 and he was like, hold on. Because like on PS3, if I remember correctly, there was an issue where like basically you had to shut every door.
Yeah, there's something weird like that.
Yeah, you had to shut every door because if you didn't shut the door, then the game would like chug because it would have to think about what's outside of the door or some shit. And the PS3 just wasn't equipped for it. So I remember being like, this sucks. And then I got it myself and I was like, all right, this is significantly better. I wonder if he's ever going to get around to that. I don't think so.
Who, Colin? No, there's no way.
He's never going to play Skyrim.
Maybe when 6 is coming around, then he's going to be like, I got to play through all of them.
Yeah, that's the only thing that gets him to play things is like if there's a new one coming out.
Yeah.
And he's like, I better play every single Yakuza game.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm hesitant for him to play Yakuza because I love it so much. And if he criticizes it harshly, I'm going to be very upset. So half of me wants him to play it, and the other half is like, yeah, but if he hates it, I don't want to hear about it. So, like, if he's playing Zero and he's like, I just don't think Majima's a compelling character, I might just fucking show up behind him, just, you know, but I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that at all.
Yeah. Don't want to be put in that situation.
Don't put me in a fucking situation, bro.
Yeah. Don't talk shit on Majima, right?
You better not.
All right.
You better not.
This is from Odd Tabs. Keep it up, Maddie. He's not here. Back in January 2023, I was watching Defining Dukes drinking a lovely bottle of red wine. Dude, the thought of someone drinking red wine listening to anything from us is very funny to me.
It is funny, yeah. They're next to a fireplace in like the dark.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, Ethan.
Put your dicks in a Chinese finger trap. Yeah. Maddie made an impassioned case for people to go try the Persona series, and they had just landed on Game Pass. Like, when it comes to turn-based games, I'd only really played Pokemon in my younger years. We're talking about Pokemon Red on Game Boy. And to be honest, I think I was intimidated by the genre. I don't know if it was the wine going to my head or just the passionate rating out of Maddie, but at that moment, I decided I would take the plunge. Fast forward 2.5 years, and I managed to get through Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 Royal, Persona 3 Remake, Metaphor ReFantazio, and most recently Expedition 33. I've just had some of my best gaming moments chipping through these games, and without Maddie making the case, I would have just put them off until the end of time. So thank you for giving me the bug of this genre. I really want to get into some visual novels, so I'll take any recommendations the crew has. Take care and have a painter's canvas kind of day. So I did send this to Maddie. Maddie said thank you for the kind message, of course. He recommended, and I would recommend this to you as well, for visual novels, Danganronpa. Seems to be a series that a lot of people like. I don't like visual novels personally, but that is the one that people seem to really like, including Colin, who did like it at a point. Dustin loves it. Maddie loves it. Micah shook her head, though, when I said it, so I assume she's got some thoughts.
It's just the art style. It's so ugly. You know,
Dude,
I can get past an ugly game.
I will back you up on it. I'm not super into the art style of those games.
Of what? Danganronpa?
Yeah.
They're hideous. The characters are just so hideous.
100-Day Hero Academy, where the fuck everyone's playing now as well.
I was interested in that, and then I saw the look of it, and I was like, I typically try not to judge things just by art style because like it might still be super cool, but it's the example I always give is Fruits Basket, because like Fruits Basket is so fucking ugly that I will never read the manga. I will never interact with it. I'm like, these characters, I don't give a fuck what happens to them because I don't care what happens to somebody that ugly. All right, so I just can't.
Oh my god, yeah, what the fuck?
Oh dude, if you ain't never seen Fruits Basket.
That's so weird because it's like, it's just off enough.
Everyone looks like a little just stretched, just a little too much.
Yes, and like especially because there's like the new series or whatever, but like the original drawings are just weird, and I hated it. I hated it the whole time. I had a classmate who would bring in like the Fruits Basket books to read, and I remember just being like, I don't know what it is, but it's like unsettling to me. And Danganronpa is that to me, of like, I hear really cool things about it. I've watched Game Grumps play it, some of it, but I can't get past the look of it. I just find myself saying like, I don't want to play this.
Dude, Micah, this this picture from the manga made me laugh. Scroll down to the first black and white picture, dude. It's just like, what? His neck is fucking huge and his head is tiny.
And he's got like these like far apart like bird eyes, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just, there's just something wrong with it.
Yeah,
and it's the whole style they went with, but I can't do it.
Yeah, everything about it is wrong. It's
just wrong.
Kind of it's amazing. Yeah, his head's like
almost looks like fan art from an amateur.
Exactly. This, you know what this looks like? This looks like someone's binder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
You'd find it on like on the back cardboard part of like somebody's notebook. It's fucking. Yeah, his head's like a Dorito or like a guitar pick.
Yeah, it's very pointy.
This is me trying to draw Beast Boy as a kid because I was obsessed with Teen Titans, and they had one of those like little commercial breaks where they were like, learn to draw, and like the method was you draw like a square and you kind of just go like segment by segment. Yeah. And let me tell you, I had like a notebook full of those. They all were terrible. Never learned how to draw Beast Boy very well. Gave up. But it's like if I tried to draw a manga myself.
Yeah.
And this is about the results that I'd probably get.
Yeah, that's a bad picture right there.
Oh my god. Visual novels, man.
Stay away from them.
No, don't stay away
Those are
from
for
them.
perverts and degenerates.
No. Now you're just being mean, Bradley.
Well,
Now you're
look
just
who
being
likes
mean.
them. Micah, who is also a pervert and a degenerate.
Only
I
Micah.
wouldn't-
It's only Micah and Timothy McVeigh. Those are the only people who play.
Like Maddie likes them,
Visual novels.
and Dustin. You don't think those two boys are perverts? 100%
Well,
they are.
I
Those
would- I
guys-
don't. Well. Now who's Timothy McVeigh?
He's the abortion clinic bomber.
Oh my god! I legitimately was like, I don't know who that is. So I don't know.
At least I think so. Now you've got me.
I don't think most people would remember that name.
I
I
don't.
Chris does.
He sticks out to me for some reason specifically. Yeah.
Oh, this fucking composite
no,
sketch.
Yeah, he did the Oklahoma City bombing. Sorry, it was a different guy.
A different
I
tragedy.
wouldn't have known that either. No, visual novels, if I may make a recommendation, I mostly play romance ones, so I doubt you're going to be interested in those.
Pervert.
But a really fantastic one that I bought back in the day on Vita from it was a PlayStation summer sale, and it was Amnesia Memories. Not Amnesia, the horror series, not that. Amnesia Memories. And the premise is just that you wake up with amnesia, your friends and various people are all telling you different accounts of what happened, and you got to figure it out. Root Letter is another cool one. That's not romance themed, it's a little more mystery as well. But I'm primarily playing the romance ones, and I'm horrible at them because I always end up alone the first time I play them. But Root Letter also had a follow-up game that I hadn't played yet. But those are cool. Oh my god, dude, no, it's so bad. The Hakuki games, which are the ones where it's the historical samurai romance novels, there were 12 bachelors, and I ended up alone.
Damn.
At the end of the mild spoiler for
You have
one of
no
the
riz,
options.
Micah.
Mild spoiler for one of the options. Well, here's the thing. I always do the first playthrough as myself. The first playthrough is what would I do?
No riz, Micah.
They put my ass on a boat and sent me home at the end of the game. All right. I didn't get a man. 12 fucking bachelors. None of them wanted me. So then the subsequent playthroughs, I would check a guide periodically. I didn't want to play the whole thing with a guide, but I was like, all right, I need hitch. I need some help if I'm going to land one of these dudes. But every time I play one of those visual novels that's a romance theme, I end up alone the first time.
That's so
almost
funny,
guaranteed.
Dude. I love that.
It's a miracle I didn't end up alone in real life, because I'm playing this I'm playing it straight. It's yeah, what would I do here? And then they're just
you can't send memes and shit in those games, so there goes
dude,
half your power.
Memes. The memes, man, I think that's half of how I won over Colin. I was sending him memes, all right, and he wouldn't respond to some of them. Famously, the tortilla on the toilet paper holder, he hated that. He hated that one. But let me tell you, he never forgot. He didn't forget about me.
That's how you stick out with people. It's like whenever I see a tung sahur game on the PlayStation Store, You ever see those the Italian brain rot games?
No.
This is on the PlayStation. This is on the PlayStation Store right at this very moment. It's there's these fucking. Oh, let me.
Dude, okay.
Yes. Okay.
Here
I know
you go.
what this
Here's one. Here's Tralalero Tralala Wars. On the PlayStation Store, and it's you got the titular character Tung Sahur with his little stick, and he's fighting a shark with shoes on.
Yeah, this is awful, dude.
I don't know, man. It's looking pretty iconic to me.
9 ratings. 4.5 stars.
There's also Fear of Pig Escape 2 is also something that you might want to keep an eye on. Looking forward if you're looking for something a little different.
Nice.
God, what a disaster.
One more actual recommendation for our listener. I have not played it yet. However, it's highly recommended. Is The House in Fata Morgana. Is just a very highly rated visual novel. I own it because I bought the limited run copy of it. And I've heard I think Hogue is the one who said it was really great. I'm trying to remember. We were on something together. I think it was Hogue. So I've heard only good things about it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But that's another one I'd recommend checking out. It's like a I don't know, gothic kind of horror-ish vibes. So that's another one for you. If you do want some romance ones, the Hakuki games are great.
Sorry, I'm watching this shark walk around in shoes right now from these videos. And this is actual. Chris is right. This is actual brain rot content.
No, it is. Yeah, it's Italian, which is so interesting.
Yeah, there's like a pigeon wearing a trench coat and a camera walking around.
Yeah, there's also Puccini. There's also Puccini Sushini, who's a little cat made of sushi. God bless him. I want to kill myself often.
Yeah.
Every time I see this shit.
I fear for
Have you seen the picture of what's the dragon from Dragon Ball Z, Enron or something? Like that
Shenron.
guy, he's he's wearing Tim's. Have you seen that picture of him wearing Tim's?
Enron.
And he's like, damn, I look fresh.
Oh God. No, I have not seen that image.
No,
Shenron, you mean? Shenron.
That is him. That's him. Yeah, and he's wearing Tim's, and he's like, "Damn, I'm fresh."
Oh my God, I love the idea of
I'm trying to find this.
the dragon being a bankrupted gasoline conglomerate. That's God bless.
It was close though. It's almost Enron. It's almost his name.
Yeah, you're right. But that mistake is legendary. Enron the dragon.
What is his name? Enron? Yeah, that's good.
I found the meme. I'll send it to you guys.
Post it. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, lighten the class.
It's not exactly what I remembered. Some kid wishes for him to wear Tim's, and he says, "Damn, I didn't know you were chill like that."
Ew. I
hate this.
Why could you hate it? Look at him. He's wearing Tim's.
I don't like that he has his legs are so far apart. There's something so weird about it.
Yeah.
Shenron shouldn't have legs. Also,
no, this is those memes where it's like, if Enron wore Tim's, would he wear them like this or like this? Would he be on all fours, or would he be like this?
What's even happening?
I don't know. Good Lord. Let's move on. Let's see here. We got a game recommendation from the audience. Well, that's the wrong thing. Sorry, Dustin. There you go. Nikolai wrote in here with a game recommendation. My suggestion is Alice Madness Returns. This is a game available and very cheap on Steam. Visuals and storytelling are top-notch, and the dark fantasy art style is just great. The style paired with the gameplay of dodging and countering has aged so well and instantly conjures thoughts of modern Souls-like games. There's also a Nine Inch Nails soundtrack and a fantastic storyline with world building and plot twists. This cult classic aged so well, sadly, for the first game in the series is not available, and even this game is locked to 30 FPS to my knowledge. This has got to be one of the earliest great games that came out of China. The series is dying for re-release by EA. Do you lot have any experience with it? Yes, I've actually played some of this. I've never finished it, but I played it quite a bit after it came out, and I was like, this game's kind of cool. And I remember thinking the first one's hard to get though, so that was a real bummer. But I remember this is a game I remember seeing when I was younger, like in PC stores when they still sold physical PC games for Alice Madness, the first one at least. But yeah, I do remember this game. It would be cool if they did a remaster for both. Chris, any memories with this?
I always remember just kind of seeing it either on shelves or I remember the box art very distinctly, and I remember being like, maybe that could be cool. But then for some reason, I don't know if it was intimidating or what, but I just never looked deeper into it. But I was always curious about it. This has been a weird kind of, I feel like I've always been aware of this for some reason. You know what I mean?
It was a 360 game.
Yes. Yeah. That's where I played it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is cheap. It's $249 right now.
Chris, don't buy. You could buy half of a taco with that. I don't know the prices of things, but you could buy something with that.
I don't know the prices.
It's, is it like Bill Gates was on Ellen DeGeneres and he's guessing the prices of things?
Yeah, how much is a milk? $40?
Yeah, it's like a TGI Fridays frozen appetizer, and he's like, oh, it's got to be $20.
Oh, Bill. Good
old
old Bill. Yeah, Micah, so you played this.
Yeah, this is a game I kind of forgot about. As soon as I saw it, though, I was like, "Oh, the pepper grinder!" I just loved the
Yeah.
idea of that being a weapon. My ex and I played this together on 360. I don't have many more memories than that initial one, but
Yeah.
I liked it. I remember I liked it. I remember thinking it was cool, but I'm not the biggest fan of Alice in Wonderland. All right, so that's already you had that going against it because I don't love that property. I liked the Johnny Depp movie; that was cool, but otherwise, it was. I liked it. I remember liking it. What do you not like the Johnny Depp Alice in Wonderland movie?
It's just wild. It's just wild to not like, because I don't like either, really. Like, I don't really care. Like, I'm not really that big on Alice in Wonderland either. Not that I hated it or anything. It was just kind of like whatever. And then the Johnny Depp movie, I was like, oh, this further cements why I'm just not into this. So for you to just be like, I don't like Alice in Wonderland, but oh man, that Johnny Depp movie was so good, really confuses me to my core.
Well, if you watch it, Christopher, you might understand. It was quite good. I also recommend his Charlie and the Chocolate Factory adaptation. Also quite good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember liking the game. I remember liking it. It's just one of those, it's so fuzzy in my memory of like, I can't tell you what I liked about it. I can't remember the story. I just remember, yeah, I liked this. You know.
Okay. Chris, if you lose the bet, you might have to play. You might get to the Alice in Wonderland section in Kingdom Hearts. So we'll see.
That's right. That's right.
We shall see.
We shall
It's like
see.
the
The only
first
thing I
world.
remember about, I've only played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 1 a long time ago, and then I played my first introduction to Kingdom Hearts. I think I told the story before, but like a friend of mine was like, "You got to play Kingdom Hearts, man." And Kingdom Hearts 2 was like new at the time,
Yeah.
and he was playing through it at like while he was trying to sell me on it. And he was like, "Here, take the controller, play it." And then immediately the Little Mermaid section of Kingdom Hearts 2 started.
He had you play that part?
Well, he didn't know that it was his first time playing it.
Oh my god.
So it was
dude.
new to him. He was just like, I like this game so far. And then like he just handed me the controller, like, play.
Dude.
And then it immediately became like
he unintentionally set you on the dark path. Like, okay, if that is your first introduction to the game, I could see it. I could see the scoffing.
Dude, it was crazy. I couldn't believe what I was doing. I was like, are you serious? And he was like,
Yeah.
I think I remember I think at that time you're young and you kind of like whatever you like, you just kind of like regardless.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, it's good. I think
those
later
parts
on,
are not good.
I think later on he admitted that, like, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Part.
That's like the worst part of the entire game. He had you play the worst part of the entire game. That's so funny, dude.
It is so unfortunate too, because he genuinely didn't know.
Yeah.
he was just playing the game for the first time, all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
That's so
He's
funny.
like, I can't wait for
Holy
my friend
shit.
to also like this, and hands me the worst shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. It turned you off for life. Yeah. All right. Chris, it's time to talk about some real shit right now. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I've played 20 hours, I think. How far are you?
I think I'm a little bit like around that, like 22, 23.
Okay.
But I'm also like, I'm really taking my time. So like I'm on chapter.
Absolutely.
I'm only on chapter 6. I think I could be further than that by now.
I might be there as well. I forgot. Now I think about it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that sounds.
It's
sounds
weird.
right.
I don't really pay attention to the chapters when I'm playing it, or like think about like, oh, I'm in chapter 7.
The only reason
The
only reason I know is because whenever I do a manual save, it'll tell me.
Oh, right.
It'll say like, oh, chapter. But that's the only reason I would really know. But yeah. So I'm taking my time. I'm building these roads and getting like really into it for it's so funny because explaining this game is impossible.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing Death Stranding and then like I'll just talk about like, yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm building really good infrastructure. And I'm really into the infrastructure that I'm building.
Yeah, I got some new shoes in it. It's made a big difference.
Yeah. And like, listen, I've got so many big transports full of resins and metals and special alloys. And, whenever I see a monorail, I'm building that baby up. And
yeah, built some tracks. Yeah.
And in some ways, it's kind of weird because it's like you're building, when you build a monorail in particular, you're kind of like, all right, you're putting a lot of effort into building a thing that will make you play the game less. Kind of, and it's like there's a weird kind of dichotomy there. I'm not really sure how I feel about what that means, because
it's just like a convenience thing, I guess, where it's like,
sure,
just like that video game thing of something gets easier as you move on, or if you put in the hard work on something for a little bit, it'll make everything else easier, I guess.
Yeah, but I guess, I don't know. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but like I love what this is. Like whatever the hell Death Stranding is, I'm so into it. I remember when the first Death Stranding came out, I was excited to make fun of it because it just seemed like pretentious garbage. Like it read that way. From as somebody who I didn't hate Kojima really, but like I just kind of wasn't that into Metal Gear at the time, or like I didn't really like I appreciated like the Psycho Mantis, stuff from Metal Gear, and like the put the controller on the ground and reading the memory card, and the weird shit with Metal Gear Solid 3 boss fights and being able to manipulate the clock. Like I think that's really cool game design, but I never really cared to play those games. And so when Death Stranding came out, I was like, oh, this looks really dumb.
But
and I'm gonna make fun of it. And then I played it, and then I loved it like in the first 5 minutes. I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, they got me. And so now I'm just like I'm super into it. I think so far Death Stranding 2 is it's definitely just, it's weird. It's more Death Stranding, but it is so much more, it's better paced, I think.
It is.
The systems feed into one another a lot more than they did. Like I think in the first game, like I wasn't really compelled to build roads really. I don't know why. And they might have changed like some of these things. By the way, so I didn't really play deeply into the director's cut either. I think I played a little bit of the director's cut to kind of reacquaint myself with it, but I didn't really. So a lot of the stuff that might be new to me might be things that are from the director's cut, and I don't know. But going from my memory of Death Stranding 1 to 2 is it's quite a jump, and there's a lot of quality of life changes there. The menus are a little bit slicker. They're a little bit more coherent and more cohesive. The MP3 player is sick. I've been using the shit out of that.
Definitely Metal Gear Solid 5 vibes right there.
Definitely. Yeah, I was happy to see that because that was one of my favorite things about Metal Gear Solid 5. Was just like how real it felt in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could like blast. What is it?
Your helicopter.
The independent.
Yeah.
What's the Apocalypse Now song from Pequod or whatever?
Oh yeah.
But no, it's so good. It's hard to talk about though, because like I think there's a lot of things that I would want to talk about that are like, I don't know if they would be considered spoilers because the game is so experiential. Like there's a song in particular in the game that comes up like I think somewhat early on, and it's actually like a lot more relevant to the story than I thought it would be. But my eyes, I lit the fuck up when I heard this. Because it's also like in one of my favorite movies ever, and so like being reminded is like was so nice. But I think it's so good. It's got a great intro. It's got great music. I love the and I mentioned this on Sacred, but like this corpus thing that pops up whenever
you can like look up like what something is.
It's like a Final Fantasy 16 like live lore kind of thing, which is like mega appreciated. I love that stuff. And it's one of the things I loved about Final Fantasy 16 when I played it. I was like, this is a great idea. I hope this is done elsewhere. And it kind of isn't. Like, it's like, I think there's maybe one other time where I've seen it, and I can't even remember that specific time. But this is the other thing where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They're doing it here. That's really great. It just seems to control a little better. It's a little tighter. It's like more fleshed out. You have more options. There's a lot more stealth. In it.
Let's talk about something that like the I guess your jobs or whatever, your missions you have to go out and do. There's a lot more variety, I would say, so far.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like kind of in the first game, like the enemy camps, the mule camps, you didn't really have to go to them that often. You could kind of avoid them most of the game. But in this one, like you like actively have to go into them to like retrieve some cargo or something like that. Like way more than I thought you were going to have to so far. And I think it works well, and it's kind of like some of the gameplay mechanics shining, I guess, like the stuff you can do with Sam. Like just being able to like drop kick someone is awesome. I love
Yeah.
that kind of shit. The stealth takedowns, his movement. Like I love that like you can hold one arm up depending on which trigger button you do to block or something like that and counter. It's awesome. It's really cool, man. Just how much stuff you can actually do if you want to learn it. And the training ground is good for that if you're like over, or I guess like intimidated by the controls. So because there is a lot to the game if you really dive into it. But you don't, so far I feel like you don't need to know all that kind of stuff. You can mostly just use guns and just shoot dudes if you want. But
Yeah.
it's a cool
Yeah.
option.
It'll be harder for you, I think. And I just love stealth stuff. I like being able, I like sneaking around and like plotting my way
Yeah.
and like scanning people and like, okay, that's this guy's path. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. It's just mega satisfying to me. So to see more of that here, it feels a lot more like Metal Gear Solid 5, and I think I'm just like I'm really
It
vibing
does.
with that.
I agree.
It's still very Death Stranding, obviously, but there's like little things like the MP3 player, the more focus on combat, even just the way that Sam moves is very is very Venom Snake. And so like yeah, man, I'm really loving Death Stranding 2 so far. I'm again 23 hours in, something like that. Chapter 6. I don't know how many chapters there are. I didn't look it up.
I don't know.
So I have no concept of how deep into the game I am. I would have to imagine I'm pretty early though.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did it again. Kojima done did it.
He did it again.
What do you think about like? Because I really feel like it's paced so much better.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Death Stranding 1, I love, but the beginning of the game is, I think, very rough for a lot of people to get through. And I think in 2, it's just a lot smoother and gets you into things a lot quicker. So I do think I agree with you. It's way better paced than the first game.
Yeah.
Kind of all around so far. Has there been any really cool moments where like building something or you find something that someone built out there where you're like, oh, nice, this is perfect kind of situations? Because that is a huge part of the game, is this like pseudo multiplayer, the Strand game, I should say, the Strand genre as he invented.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed more of it, I think, in Death Stranding 1. I think largely because it was so unique and novel. This time I'm like, I think I just kind of accept like, oh yeah, that's part of the game now. You know what I mean? Like I just expect to see that. So it doesn't stick out to me as much. I think the thing to me that's landing a lot better is the infrastructure stuff, like building roads. Because I think when I played the first game, I kind of didn't care because like I kind of figured the game is about walking. Like if I'm not doing the walk, like why am I? You know what I mean? It kind of felt like defeating the purpose, or it kind of felt like if I was trying to build roads, it felt like I was trying to make some way to make me not play the game, which is like, why am I even playing? Like it kind of felt weird. And I also don't think the systems were, at least in the vanilla version of Death Stranding that I remember, I don't think it was as well communicated how to do these things, and also like what worked, like the mines, for example. Like having mines is like a big deal. I don't remember if there were mines in the first game. I don't think there were, from my memory, at least not in the vanilla. And so like knowing that like, oh, this is where I can go to like get these materials. Like, okay, now I don't have to like happen across metal at like encampments where like in the first game, again, those encampments you're always avoiding, because you're not really equipped for combat. So I'm just a lot more into that, and it's nice to. I'm paying more attention to like the feed that comes up where it's like so and so used your road, or so and so. It's cool, and to come back and see that something that you started is finished. It's interesting.
Yeah.
There's a weird I don't know what the feeling is necessarily, but there's like a competitive cooperation where like you feel weirdly competitively driven to make something that is beneficial to not just you, but as many people as possible.
I want to make the best structure.
Yeah.
I want to make the stuff that everyone wants to use. I get that.
Yeah, it makes like selflessness competitive. And I think that's so interesting. That's like a weird... I've still never played a game that's ever done that. Like, it's just such a weird idea and such a cool thing that this game does, where I'm just like, if I'm building a road or if I'm building a bridge, I'm always thinking about, well, I could build this here right now and be really convenient for me, but is this going to be how many other people are going to take this weird path that I've taken.
Yeah, how to make the optimal route for someone. For the vast majority, yeah.
Or I don't know if this was in the first game either. I don't remember, but like stacking ladders.
Yeah.
With the big like where you get to go up 2 ladders at the same time. That's mega satisfying. But it's so funny explaining that. It's like, yeah, dude, I could go up 2 ladders at once.
Yeah,
it's so
like,
fucking.
Death Stranding is one of those games that makes no sense until you play it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and even if you do play it, I feel like you got to kind of. That is, I've said this a couple times because I just think it's true. I think it's true of most games, quite frankly, as far as the way that I interact with them. Or not even really games, so just media in general, where like I could see Death Stranding 1 being a game that like if I had played it even like a day later or a day earlier, or even like a couple hours earlier, you know what I mean? Like I probably would have not liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it probably wouldn't have hit me in the right moment with the right cadence or with the right the right mood or whatever. But like if it syncs up with you, like I feel like you're in for a good time. And I think this is it's no exception. I hope that, I don't know, it's weird because like do you feel like this game, if somebody wasn't into the first one, they would be into this? Because I don't really know.
I guess it depends on like what kind of stuff they didn't like about the first game.
Yeah.
Say. If you don't like delivering stuff, then no. You're not gonna like it.
I think if the pacing was the only issue for you, then I think
I think if pacing was an issue for you, it's much better this time around. I think so
significantly.
As well.
I think it's like actually expertly like
they've
really
made some things like easier, just being able to like move from things you've already unlocked with the Magellan and stuff like that, being able to just ride it instead of having to actually like walk somewhere, be able to load stuff up in that easily and move it is super convenient. It's crazy. There's like a lot of interesting stuff that like I don't want to talk about just yet.
Yeah.
Might want to wait a couple weeks just for more people to play it, because there's some funny, interesting moments I've had on the game, like stuff they've added. Like there's a tar gun, which I think is very funny. You use at certain parts of the game for things, and I'm just like, this is so fucking goofy. I love this shit.
Yeah.
Just shooting tar at people, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a hard game
a
to
bag
talk
of
about.
feathers.
No, I wish.
That would be crazy. You can Kojima, add that in now. There needs to be a feather grenade for after you tar people, dude. That is so disrespectful. It's awesome. Like I would absolutely I would be all over that.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a great idea.
Dude, I forgot what I was just gonna say, but yeah, Death Stranding 2 is great so far. Like you, Chris, I'm just taking my sweet fucking time playing this game. I'm not rushing anything, doing any delivery. I feel like it's been great. It's a beautiful game visually.
Oh,
it looks insane. Runs really well. Decim Engine, man. Like just even when you're like wandering around, like going on sand dunes at night, and you can like just see all the stars out there. It's just like, man, this game perfectly has this crazy vibe to it that it's hard to describe.
Yeah, it really is gorgeous. Those first few shots, are fucking
when the game starts,
crazy. Like I remember being like, this is genuinely unbelievable. Like how good that game looks.
Now, if anyone's listening out there and they haven't played Death Stranding, I would highly recommend playing the first game. At the very least, if you're not going to play it, look up a story recap. The very least. This game is a big time sequel. They don't give a fuck if you don't know what's going on from the first game. You're too bad if you don't. That's what Kojima's saying to you. So if you are curious about 2, do yourself a favor. Definitely check out the first game. Then come back to this one. Do not play them back to back, though. Play something in between them.
No. Yeah.
You need spacing. Don't be like Colin. It's fucking psychotic behavior. Don't do that.
It really is crazy because he's the amount of time he's put into the director's cut is just before going into 2 is crazy.
He's like 60 hours in or some shit.
What? 60?
I thought that's what he told me last night. I think he said I'm 60 hours in.
Dude, bro, what is he? Is he like 100%ing? Of course he's 100%ing everything. Never mind. I don't even know why I even asked.
I'm enjoying watching it though. It's all new to me, so
yeah. But you're watching the story and everything at least unfold.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, 2.
I'm watching him when Bro, there's nothing funnier than him slipping and falling in a river and like all the stuff starts floating by him. Like
Dude,
it's funny every time.
That is one of my favorite memories. Like one of my favorite memories of recent games is like falling in a Death Stranding river and like watching all my shit go away.
And BB just
and then
crying.
BB's crying.
Panic.
And then like I'll never forget it because I think I even tweeted it. I posted it online because I was just like, this is such a wild moment. But like I was like hopelessly like I was just like in this stream. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna lose everything. I'm gonna fall off this thing and die. And then just before the waterfall heads off this cliff, there's like a ladder. And it's like placed like just at the right height to like block everything from falling down. I just remember being like, this is amazing that somebody did this. Because it means that somebody thought about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, God damn, this is what a moment. And I like slammed it with likes. I was like, thank you.
Yeah, I love that you can just keep spamming likes for a little bit too. You give them like 100 likes or some shit.
Yeah. There's like that skill tree thing too that they added, which is cool. That like can expand like the window that you have to give likes if you want to focus on that stuff.
Give or receive likes. Yeah,
what an interesting.
It's really good. I like the skill tree a lot in the game. Actually, I think it works well because you just get points for it for delivering stuff.
Yeah,
and like
you can reallocate it at will.
Yeah,
I like that you're not locked in. Like that's a smart choice. Like you're not locked into some weird like if you're not feeling this upgrade, you can just swap it out for something else. Like it's a good way of going about it, I think.
Let me ask you this, Chris. So for me with like games like this, like Death Stranding, and I say this about Kingdom Hearts as well, is you can watch a recap of these games to get an idea, but so much of the attachment you will get is from actually spending the time with these characters and going through the motions with them. Like, you know, spending 20 hours with them is a lot different than watching a 10-minute YouTube video like that. Would you recommend that to someone over who's just on the fence? If someone has the opportunity to do either.
I mean, if you have the option to play the game or watch a video, like I would say play the game for sure. I do think if you've played the game or whatever, I don't think there's necessarily, because I played it, I needed to have my memory jogged. So like I did what that recap thing like previously, like they have like a little recap, which is actually pretty. It's not good if you haven't played the game because it's like you don't know what the fuck anything is and you can't really make the little connections. But if you've played the game and it's just kind of like living outside of your memory, it's been like a couple years. I think that recap does a pretty good job of like going through the main things, and the main things that it goes through does kind of ignite some memories where it's like, oh, they'll bring up this character and then you'll be like, oh, that's that. Oh, I remember this. So I think the recap is pretty sufficient for people who have played it already, even if it's only been once or like many years ago. But this is not a game that you want to necessarily. I don't think you'll get it because like it is about.
It's not a game you want to kind of just rush through, I would say.
I think it's primarily a gameplay. I think it's a lot like Metal Gear Solid 5 in that way, actually. Like this is another way where I'm just like, I think so much of what Death Stranding is in the moment to moment, the trepidation of like, is this the hill? Is this too steep? You know, is this river too deep? Am I going to lose my balance on this ladder? I'm already so high up on this mountain. If I fuck up now, it is so catastrophically bad. This is it. You can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You bring up a good point. It's like sometimes like in this game, it just forces you to commit at certain times. You're like the decisions you have to make. You're like, okay, you're like how you're saying like this. If I do these kind of things, like I gotta fucking follow through for it kind of thing. It like makes you can't back out a lot of stuff like that. Like if you're doing some huge delivery, you're like, okay, I have my car or my motorcycle, whatever. I have this much, battery or stuff like that, and it's like, can I make it? These kind of choices. Do I want to try to bring supplies to make something like a recharge station or along the way or stuff like that? Like I love thinking about that kind of stuff, these choices you have to make in the game. It's great.
Yeah, and sometimes you end up like just up shit's creek without a paddle.
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh my god, I used all my climbing anchors and I can't get down. How the fuck do I figure this out?
I'm fucked. Yeah.
And then you have to like go back around and maybe like find another way. You rely mega heavily on the Odra deck. One of my favorite memories from the original Death Stranding was on the snowy mountain.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a mountain like that here. I haven't been to it yet, but like that was the moment where I was like, this is fucking
Yeah.
this is really
Special.
special.
All right. This is from Shankton Cumbucket.
It's a great
Oh
name.
my God.
That's a great name. God bless.
Hello, Summon Porters. How do you feel about the evolution gameplay-wise of Death Stranding 2? Death Stranding 1's core gameplay was all about traversal and turning the environment itself into a challenge. From what you've played so far of Death Stranding 2, like the ship mechanics, new tools, and more dynamic weather conditions, how do you think Kojima is evolving the gameplay loop this time? Do you think it's still primarily about traversal, or is it leaning into something new mechanically? What do you think, Chris?
No, I think Death Stranding's core gameplay has just been slightly streamlined. I wouldn't say it's like simplified, really. Like it's still
Right.
very like, you know, you can still lose your balance, you can still fall, and you know, it's still very involved. But I think they've simplified some of like the menu tedium. They've
Yeah, dude, the menus are so much better in this game. It's
Yeah.
crazy how much more efficient everything is now.
Yeah, I remember actively in Death Stranding once, like being so into the vibe and being so into like what was happening and like what it felt like to move through that I was like, whenever I would go into a menu, I would be like, fuck, this is a nightmare. And then I
Yeah.
had to be like, I had to actively like mentally like try to understand what the menus were trying to convey to me. Like it was like deciphering like hieroglyphics or something. It's a lot more that stuff is a lot more simplified, and again, I just think the systems feed into one another a lot better. Like, I don't remember feeling the synergy between everything in Death Stranding 1 that I'm feeling now. Where like,
Mhm.
oh, I'll make a delivery and I'll increase my star rating with this person, and then they'll give me a new piece of equipment, and you know. And so I could choose to be like, oh, these people give me weapons. I'm going to focus on doing deliveries for them because I want more weapons. These people give me more, you know, utilitarian climbing tools, so I'm going to focus on upgrading my rank with these people. You know, and the bandit camps, there's more of a reason to go in because you're more capable, but also the missions drive you there more often. So like, those are big stockpiles of materials. And so
Right.
now that you have more materials, and because materials are so heavy, you're thinking like, oh, I have to get rid of this, but I don't want to just lose them because this is valuable stuff. So like you can, okay, oh, I'm going to contribute to this road. I'm going to contribute to this zip line. I'm going to contribute to this, you know, whatever. And I don't remember feeling that level of connectedness between like Death Stranding 1 felt like a disparate series of separate but well-developed systems that didn't necessarily have too much to do with each other. Whereas this feels a lot more like things feed into one another, like that skill tree, obviously, which ties into your porter grade, which helps you with, you know, whatever you choose to stack into. Your porter grade and your title affects that too, I think. And yeah, like I just think it just feels, you can get into a lot more of a flow state, I feel, with this game.
I agree with you. 100%.
There's always something, and because you're more incentivized to do more deliveries, you're familiarizing yourself with the map a little bit more. So you kind of know it's like, oh, this road goes this way. Like I kind of don't need to use the map right now at the place where I am at, because I just kind of know where everything is just based on like landmarks.
That's a good sign of good game design, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's sick. It's just it's really cool, and even something as simple as like the charting the course works way better. Like I think in the first game it was like mega weird. Like I remember trying it when I jumped into Death Stranding Director's Cut just to refamiliarize myself, and I just was like, man, this is a weird. It's not that it doesn't function, but it's like it's kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
cumbersome
everything in
and
Death
weird.
Stranding 1 mechanically feels more inelegant now compared to 2.
Yeah.
2 is just refined so much. It's just like way smoother, like you're saying. It just flows better now. Everything does, pretty much gameplay, system-wise, all that stuff, menus.
Yeah, and so that's where I think it is, and obviously there's like a lot more focus on combat and stealth in this one than there like it used to be. I think focused on just like traversal and then avoiding. It was less about stealth, and it was more about like if you get spotted, run away or just don't bother going into those areas where you might get spotted. But now it's like they've got these cool like. There's a particular thing that I like that's like a grenade that throws like a hologram basically.
Oh yeah,
you can like hide in or like hide behind, and I'm like, this is fucking.
Yeah, that's really fun.
This is cool.
I love
shit.
stuff like that.
I load myself up like crazy with that stuff. Like I have so many hologram grenades, it's insane.
Yeah, I think they're smart. They kind of give you capable weapons much earlier in this game. I feel like too, so you can defend yourself a lot easier from like BTs than you could in the first game. Much more quickly.
It took a while. It took a while to get like the blood grenades or whatever.
Yeah, but like a lot of the guns just work on BTs now, or they won't kill people. So it's not as annoying dealing with that as it was in the first game. So yeah, that's good stuff. All right, let's see here. This is from Florida Man. Hey, gentle people of the Slum and Summoners. Polygon posted an article about how it's better if you just skip all the Death Stranding 2 bosses. Is this true, or does Polygon just need to throw in the journalist towel? I'll shut up now and go barbecue myself a tasty human. Wow. I would say do not skip the bosses. No. I think this is a foolish thing to do. But what do you think, Chris?
Can you even do that?
Yes. So, I believe how it works is if you quote unquote die in the game.
Right. There's like a pretend you won button, right?
Yeah.
I think that's cute.
It's a cute idea, but I would not recommend doing it unless you're like really struggling.
Yeah, like maybe like if you get that's for me in a situation like if there was a particular boss that I didn't have fun fighting the first time and I'm playing the game again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind doing that, I guess, because like whatever. But no, I mean I think your first experience of a game should be pretty holistic. I think you should really kind of just see what the game is on its face value. It's why I don't really fuck around with mods too much, even on PC, because like I don't like having a muddy memory of what the game is on its own like face value. You know what I mean? Like I don't like the Skyrim mods where I'm like where there's like, oh, it's a completely different game now.
Everyone's got huge titties now.
Yeah, and it's like that's cool, but that's like not Skyrim though.
Right.
That's not what they made. And so like it would be like if somebody like re-edited fucking, I don't know, Goodfellas and like recolor graded it and like just like substituted actors out. I'm just like, what do you? I don't really want to watch this. So like I feel like, yeah, if you've got a chance to go through a boss fight, like why not take it? Like I don't know. Something would have to be really fucking tedious for me to be like, yeah, I'm skipping this entirely on the first playthrough. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. All right. It's from Gabriel SG. Hello. Simple question. Do you think Death Stranding 2 will be the game of the year? I am 8 hours in and completely enthralled by it. It is easily the best game I've played in a long time, and I am constantly thinking about it. I will goon aside and listen as a BT.
I listen as a BT.
I don't think this will win. I think it could get nominated, Chris. This is a very not an easy access game in the sense that like if you haven't played the first one, you're gonna have no idea what the fuck's happening in this game. Zero from a narrative perspective. It won't connect with you as nearly as much. And it's only on one console. So it can't get a lot of people who weren't already fans of the first game maybe to hop in.
Yeah. I personally don't think it's game. Like I haven't finished it. Obviously, like it could change. Like maybe the ending is fucking crazy amazing, but I think the issue is that Death Stranding 2 is I feel like Game of the Year should be a game that defines the year, and I just don't think I think Death Stranding. I don't really think like I don't know like I don't really feel like that. I don't feel like that's what's happening necessarily. I think there's an obvious Game of the Year winner, and I think it's Claire.
No,
If I had to-
no, it's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Okay, yeah. If I had to put money down, I would bet like $5,000. I think I might actually bet.
I would think, yeah. If
like,
people voted, I think Claire would win.
If it's fucking Claire Obscure, I'll kill myself.
I think
and
it's
you can hold me
clearly
to that.
I think it's so clearly Claire Obscure that it's not even funny. But like, I think, but I think it's so clearly like the game that defined this year, but without a shadow of a doubt. So like, I think Death Stranding 2 is fantastic. I don't know if it'll, again, only 6 chapters in 22 hours. That could change. It could really blow my mind and show me something that I was not expecting. But as of right now, what I'm getting out of the game is just basically stuff that I not to demean it or anything, but it's stuff that I wish was in the first game that is now finally here. And so like it's a more refined version of something that I already kind of experienced, which is not a bad thing. It's a very good thing. But it's not as new to me as that first Death Stranding experience
Right,
was.
yeah. It's not a new IP.
Yeah, and even that first Death Stranding, that was 2020, right?
2019.
That was 2019. Yeah, so that was that was Sekiro and I don't remember what my game of the year in 2019 was.
Gears 5.
That'd be crazy. But I think if it was, I don't know. I think the fact that it's a sequel, the fact that it is very good, but still so dependent on the first game, and I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be game of the year. It has a shot, but like I wouldn't bet on it personally.
Yeah. Like Micah, I like it more than Claire Obscure, but I think Claire Obscure would probably win over it.
No, it will, and I'm just going to be upset about it unless Jeff Keighley threatening people. If you don't vote for Death Stranding, you're fired. You're not coming back.
That's true. He does have. He's in the pocket of Big Kojima.
Yeah, he's compromised.
Fucking loves him.
But Death Stranding didn't win Game of the Year that year either. So like,
no, but this is different. This is. It better not win, or that means that he threatened people or paid them off.
I think it's likely it's either Kingdom Come Deliverance or Claire, but I think Claire is clearly.
I don't think
it's gonna be fucking Claire.
It's gonna be Claire.
Fucking.
Hey, Micah, we got the Kong. We got Donkey Kong to help.
I'm just so upset. Kingdom
That is
Come
true.
Deliverance 2 is amazing.
That game might be crazy actually. Like I think Donkey Kong is probably something that you don't want to count out necessarily.
Yeah, I wouldn't count it.
I'm counting it.
But if I were a betting man, I would say I would put money on Claire.
Yeah, I would put money on Claire. Probably for right now, I would.
Right now, at this very moment,
it's not my choice, but I would put money on it. 33 devs made that game, guys.
12 dogs and a roach built this in a cave with nothing but a box of scraps.
You guys are always fucking.
I just saw the first Iron Man again.
That shit.
It's one of that's like the top 10 movie for me. Probably, I love that movie.
The first Iron Man's really great.
It's really good.
I forgot how good it was actually. Like. Because I don't know, MCU is so whatever. But then you watch Iron Man 1 again, and you're like, oh, there's actually like a real movie.
That's the thing. Like my favorite MCU movie is Captain America. I saw that in theaters, and like I was going nuts. Okay, like it's still like one? I actually haven't seen the other Captain America movies. I really fell off with those movies a long time ago. The Avengers might be the last one I seen. And so I just was over it. There used to be special.
I know.
Superhero movies used to be special. Sometimes you get a dud like Green Lantern, but it was okay because it's like, well, you wait a couple years to get another one.
Well,
but
Batman movie. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we did have also like, we had like Catwoman and Daredevil with Ben Affleck. And
I haven't seen any of those. I'm not talking about those. No. I'm talking about the fun ones,
What was the other one? Elektra? Elektra? Did you ever see Elektra?
Yes.
No, I don't.
I highly recommend everybody look up the basketball scene in Catwoman if you want a fever dream experience. That scene is edited like an epileptic seizure. It's the most insane. Like they showed it to me in like an editing class when I was doing film school. To be like, this is exactly how you don't edit anything.
Is this like the Halle Berry Catwoman we're talking about?
There's a Halle Berry Catwoman, and then like when it gets, you could skim through. Like you don't even have to watch that whole thing. But like there's like, I'm not even exaggerating. It feels like there's like 5 cuts every 2 seconds.
Yeah, she jumped off the wall and there was legit like 5 cuts from her just jumping off the wall. It's crazy.
It's notorious. But
oh my God, she was so young. Wow. Look at this.
Isn't it crazy? Oh,
It's like a music
Chris, this
video.
is insane. Even like me, extreme amateur in video editing is like,
dude, yeah,
I would know not to do that.
That's what's so crazy. It's like, even as somebody who isn't an editor, you just understand that like, ow, my brain hurts looking at this.
That's just not visually appealing to look at. It hurts. Wow.
Catwoman game of the year.
Catwoman game of the year. Have you played the Catwoman game? There's a game based on that.
As I said that, I made that up, but I remembered as I said it that's a real thing.
Yeah, dude.
That's like Dark Angel or something. Like, you ever played Dark Angel for the original Xbox?
Man,
that fucking Jessica Alba show?
Man,
so many weird
funny.
fucking games. I can't believe there were TV tie-in games. What the fuck?
Yeah,
the world used to be so strange.
All right, let's end the show with some write-ins from the audience. If you want to write in the show, I post a thread every Saturday on our Patreon calling for your submission, so keep an eye out there. This is from Duck Dynasty Warriors. Hey, there's a Duck Dynasty game. I forgot. Did you ever play that, Chris?
No. But Duck Dynasty Warriors would go hard, dude. You played as like the Duck Dynasty crew,
like
and
a beat 'em up or some shit.
Yeah,
dude?
like you're just fighting.
Or Dynasty Warriors are killing like a million ducks in a fight.
That's what I was imagining. Like just them. You play as them, and then you get to like kill 1,000 ducks.
Yeah. Do you guys remember 30 to 50 feral hogs? That guy. No. This was like a tweet a couple years ago of some dude. The gist of it, I think, was he was trying to justify like owning an assault rifle, but he said something like, if there are 30 to 50 feral hogs coming for you, like you'll need this. And it was like just so specific, 30 to 50 feral hogs. And like, it's a thing. I'll just randomly text Colin sometimes. It's just saying 30 to 50 feral hogs.
Dude, there's a Vox article that says 30 to 50 feral hogs explained. Which is an awesome title for anything.
What a time to be alive. Like if somebody saw that, like some kid's gonna be going through like old articles at some point, like 40 years from now, and they'll be like, this is just a description of a single tweet. Like an article written about a tweet.
They said, hello there. Do you guys have any video game and music album combinations etched permanently into your mind? Here are mine. We Are Not Alone by Breaking Benjamin and Coheed and Cambria's first 2 albums are all 3 associated with different areas in Final Fantasy XI based on where I was grinding levels. And I listened to Colors by Between the Buried and Me on repeat for months while playing Oblivion. Great album. I'm realizing now that this was all due to being able to copy CDs to the Xbox 360 and play them while playing games. What an awesome idea it was at the time. Do you have any as well? Take care.
That shit was iconic, man. Like when my cousin got the 360 before any of us did, and I don't even think I was paying attention to games enough to even know that had even happened. And so he just turns on this like futuristic looking machine. He's like, watch this. And he turns it on from across the room. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then he plugs his iPod in and he's like playing his music through like Burnout fucking Revenge or whatever. I'm like, this is what the fuck is this, dude?
Future.
I still don't think there will ever be. That was the most I ever had my shit rocked by just like an overnight technological advancement like that. Like that will never happen again, I don't think. But as far as like music that's associated, there are so many PS1 games in particular, like Crash Bandicoot, Ape Escape, and a lot of these, like that era of game that are associated so thoroughly with Mark Anthony, because my mom specifically, like. My gaming setup was kind of like, it was in the living room. Like I didn't have it in my room until like I didn't have it in my room until I think like junior high school. So like before that I was
move for sure.
Yeah. So it was like it was like this kind of like offshoot. Like it wasn't in the living room and it wasn't in the dining room. It was kind of like this weird little like section that I had. And my parents would blast music whenever they would clean, and it was clean, and it was a Hispanic family. It was cleaning every Saturday. It was just like the house would be turned upside down cleaning, and so like that music would wake me up on like Saturday morning, like mega early. And so, and all I wanted to do was like play video games. So I would play video games, and like I would clean a little bit, but then like I would just sit there and like I would Ape Escape, and then there would be like it would just be Mark Anthony in the background. And so like every time I play Ape Escape, I think of Mark Anthony, and every time I hear Mark Anthony, I think of Ape Escape now. Like no matter
really
what the
funny.
context is, and it's very strange. And there's other things like a very strange association I have with Dead Space and this band, Die Mannequin, who is not a popular band at all. Like they probably had like maybe one song that people would recognize, and even that's like a pretty low. Like I don't think it was that popular. I think because this girl that I had a crush on liked that band, and so I was like trying to listen to as much of it as possible, so I would have something to talk to her about while I was playing Dead Space. And so like I have Do It or Die specifically by Die Mannequin associated so directly with Dead Space 1 that it's fucking ridiculous. It's very funny. Awesome. Like that song transports me back. Like there's songs that I've loved for a long time and I've listened to forever. So like their power to bring me back in time has completely dissipated, because like that's a song I listened to for the first time in 2006, but I've listened to it hundreds of times every year since then. So like they don't have that memory triggering thing, but that song, I'm back in like my unfinished basement in like 2008, like with like fucking breathing in fucking fiberglass, probably playing Dead Space, like trying to learn this band. And it's very,
and then meanwhile you show up at school and you're like, oh, I really like this lyric you said. And she's like, what? And she's like, oh, all right.
I don't even remember. I think the furthest that it got was that like, because we were friends on Facebook, and so I just picked like some random lyric and I just posted it, and then she liked it, and I was like, cool. And then I never followed up again. I never followed up again. I immediately, that was all I needed at that point, because I was like, I got Dead Space.
The validation. There you go. Yeah. You got it. That's so awesome.
Stupid. But yeah.
All right, Micah, you're always listening to some crazy shit when you're gaming. Let's hear some from you.
I mean, I'm usually more of a podcast gamer, but
fun.
Specifically, Eminem goes with Call of Duty for me because, yes, on the 360 and is playing music through it and just having an Eminem little playlist going. And I'm one of those weirdos. I don't need to hear Call of Duty to just play it. So it's like I'd be online just listening to Eminem the whole time, no awareness at all of what's going on around me. But so I definitely associate Call of Duty with Eminem, hands down.
Did you have your mic on? Did you have your mic on so it would be blasting
never.
like really like
through it? That's so dude.
I love
never
that
on
stuff.
the mic. But like specifically, it would have been probably Relapse in that era that I would have been listening to a lot back then.
Oh my god!
And then, I mean, I just love all of his diss tracks. So it's like, oh man, fucking Nail in the Coffin. And you're just destroying kids in Call of Duty, listening to Quitter. Like, I mean, like Bully, like all the diss tracks were so perfect to go with stomping on people in Call of Duty. So that's the biggest one for me. Is just Eminem and Call of Duty. Outside of music, though, like a Game Grumps goes with Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I got that story in that game got so fucking out of whack that I was like, fuck this. Like the gameplay is fun, but you don't know what the hell's going on. I checked out hard, okay? And so I was just like, let's just watch Game Grumps while we play this. And it was probably like their Supermarket Simulator gameplay series that I was listening to most of the time.
Yeah, hell yeah. For me, during World of Warcraft 2004 when it came out, I was a senior in high school, and I remember listening to this band called Elven King while playing WoW, and we used to call it Double the Fantasy because they were like a power metal band. So like, they were singing about like folk shit like that and like fantasy stuff. So yeah, always funny with that. I do remember like on the PS2 playing Final Fantasy 11 and watching like stuff on a portable DVD player, like on the side, because I played on my TV and shit like that.
Oh, that's so funny.
So, not a whole lot of music though, but it's always like during MMOs or stuff like that. But now everything's so much easier to listen to at the same time. So
yeah,
back in the day, it was harder.
Back in my day,
you had to really
get a CD player out.
He had to set aside a special device.
Yeah, a jukebox.
It's great. Like I associate. Yeah, there's so many. I'm sure there's like so many other ones too. Those are the ones that I remember the most. There's I don't know why this came into my mind recently. Have you ever seen Chuck E. Cheese tried to stream at one point?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? The restaurant?
So the restaurant had a mascot, and obviously
Chucky,
the mascot. Chuck E. Charles Entertainment Cheese, as everybody
right.
knows.
Charles E. Cheese.
Which is fucking crazy. But he
Holy
streamed.
Shit, you can find him on YouTube still.
Yeah. But there's a scene where Chuck E. Cheese, the official Chuck E. Cheese Twitch account, like he's playing some game and he looks at the camera and he goes, "Poggers." and then he just silently kind of just like gasps and whimpers and like it's very strange, but it's one of my I don't know why that just triggered, like, for some reason this conversation.
I gotta find that.
I'll send it to you. I'll find it.
I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese. Is he supposed to talk, or is he like a Disney mascot where he doesn't talk?
He talks. Yeah, because he would always be the one going like, "Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid."
Yeah.
Oh, whatever, he's the one who's saying that.
Yeah.
We didn't. Oh, Bradley, don't look at me like I've been to Chuck E. Cheese. All right, don't do this to me. Not all of us. Not all of us are privileged.
Did you hear
SoCal.
Yeah, dude. He's playing Fall Guys, and it's like the music playing, and it's about to start an event. And he's like nodding his head like that. He just slowly like turns and goes, "Poggers." It's Poggers, and just immediately goes back to the camera.
And then he goes like silent, and then he like kind of just like his head goes like, and then his mouth falls open. It's such a that clip is crazy. Yeah. I love it so much. Yeah, Micah, look at it. It's only 17 seconds.
I gotta get past this ad first.
Oh my god, you don't have premium? What are you doing?
Premium. We've yelled at her so much about that.
Oh my god, I can't believe you have to watch an ad for a 17-second clip.
Dude, I love how it says Chuck E. Cheese Gaming for Goods top donations, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
I hated that so much. Also, what is this new Chuck E. Cheese design?
I don't know.
I hate this.
Poggers! I haven't seen it in so long. Oh, God bless.
Dude,
God bless.
Holy shit. 1.9 million views.
Oh, sign of the cross.
I didn't know Poggers was a real thing. I've only seen it because in the Discord, that's like what the name is of one of the Peep the Frog emotes.
That's what he's doing, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on. Twitch is a fucking no man's land to me. I don't know what that place is doing. I watch Bradley sometimes, and otherwise, I don't know what the hell's going on over there.
Cockring King.
I know Brad's always like, "Oh shit, she's here."
Yeah. Oh shit. Start talking about boat sex toys again or something.
That was hysterical, though. You like not knowing what Bad Dragon was. I had no idea what you were
talking about, but I was just being nice. Look for that story on Punching Up like a week or two ago. Dude, that Chuck E. Cheese clip's fucking insane. Holy shit. That's beautiful that exists.
I'm glad I reminded myself of it. I haven't seen that. That's good. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Like, Chuck E. Cheese streaming is funny enough already to me.
Yeah, by itself, it's already like, what is...
Like, someone played.
That's like Mr. Clean streaming, you know what I mean? It's like it's a very strange... Like, it's only barely... I guess Chuck E. Cheese is vaguely gaming associated.
Yeah, they have games and shit there, but...
But they're less gaming associated than Burger King is, you know what I mean?
But it's so like who's watching that? Kids aren't watching that shit.
Top donation, nothing.
They're trying. I mean, this is COVID era stuff too. We got to keep this in context.
Okay,
this is 4
years ago. Yeah,
they were trying. They were trying to. Nobody was going to Chuck E. Cheese anymore because they were going to die if they went. So like they were trying to find some kind of supplementary income. So they're like, I know. Let's get Charles Entertainment Cheese here to do some streaming on the side, recoup some of our losses.
Which the comments on this video, like the top comment says, "Poggers," starts shaking violently.
Yeah. It's such a crazy, like that combination of things, like him saying it and then like the immediate seizure that follows it. And then his mouth opens and he goes, "Ah." It is truly psychotic.
Oh, I just like how he like peaks on the mic too when he says poggers.
Yeah,
That's good
it
shit.
peaks. Top donations.
Poggers.
Nothing kills me. I never noticed the top donations being completely empty.
Yeah, that fucking rules, dude.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
didn't mean to derail it like this.
No, that was great, dude.
I'm
I'm so happy you told me about that. I'm
We've
never gonna
hit
forget
the
that.
required number of tangents per episode. We got a
Yeah.
quota to maintain here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
All right, this is from Antonio Rodriguez. Hey guys, this isn't a question, keep it up or sort it out, but a funny fact about a faction of Assassin's Creed fan base. A faction? Whenever Chris and Brad bring up AC Valhalla, they always talk about how long and exhausting it is. Believe it or not, good portion of people who played Valhalla not only wanted it to be longer, but demanded a New Game Plus. This is not a joke. Whenever the AC social media page posts about it, the comments are full of people asking why it never got a New Game Plus update. I personally couldn't imagine this, as Valhalla left me exhausted and tired of it. Just thought you guys might get a laugh out of the fun fact. Yeah, that's fucking insane.
I didn't even
I feel
finish
like I
that
ran
game.
a
That's rare for
marathon
me.
when I finished that game. I like uninstalled it immediately after I played it. I was done. That was it. I did enough.
Yeah,
But,
nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Assassin's Creed games are just. I tried. I played a
Yeah, you
fair bit of
tried.
Shadows. I think
Yeah.
I played like 30 something hours of Shadows or something.
That's a
And I'm
that's,
just
yeah,
like-
that's a lot.
And at a certain point, I was just like, I've seen all I need to see here.
That's Assassin's Creed. You see everything you need to see in the first 10 hours.
Yeah, which is why
Maybe
they should
less.
which is why they should be 10-hour games.
Yeah.
I it's crazy to me. Like, I used to really like Assassin's Creed like a lot. Like, I loved
Everyone did, dude. 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Good shit. Especially
one. I
2.
remember when one came out. I remember being like, "This is kind of cool. Like, it's not there yet, but this is interesting. This is cool and
Mhm.
weird." And then I remember the sci-fi fantasy or the sci-fi historical kind of mixes. It's kind of weird now, but like at the time, it was like, "Oh, that's like an interesting." I'd never seen anything like that. And then 2 and Brotherhood were great. I never fucked around with Revelations because by that point I was like,
Yeah.
No, it was good. It was good.
yeah. I was just kind of like, I'm like, I didn't have money for that and. I didn't have money for Revelations and the other things that I wanted that year. So I was like, I'll skip that one. And then I played 3 and I was like, okay. I think this is
Yeah.
You know what happened? It became Pokemon to me where I was like, I started to realize like, okay, I kind of get what I kind of get it.
Dude. Yeah.
I get it. What's happening.
Yeah.
But oh well.
I mean, God bless all you people that want to play Valhalla, I guess, but no thanks. That's
Yeah,
enough.
Not my cup of tea.
That's enough. And I wouldn't believe anyone who's talking on the fucking Assassin's Creed Twitter.
Yeah,
It's like, those aren't normal people.
The subreddit.
Yeah, that's not normal people.
I made a macaroni sculpture of Ezio Auditore da Firenze. Look. I want Reddit karma now.
Give me karma.
Give me karma. I want karma.
It takes a special person, I think, to be on Reddit all the time and wanting karma and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah. It's
The gamification
I
of it.
lurk, but I don't like to post.
I used to put I think like early 2012, like 2012, 2013, I was kind of like I thought the metagame was interesting, but I didn't care enough. I think I engaged with it for like I think a couple months, and then I was like, all right, I don't know if I care about this. That was
Right.
around like the stumble upon time where like you could go to stumble upon or whatever, and it would just show you random shit.
Mm-hmm.
I miss that.
Yeah. All right, it's from Tau Tanzua. Death Stranding 1 predicted COVID-19. What is Death Stranding 2 going to usher in?
Man, crumbling infrastructure
Yeah.
is my
Networks going
prediction.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good guess, actually. I like that.
That's
EMP
fun.
hits.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you nailed it, Chris. That sounds like something where I'm like, oh yeah, that could totally happen. Easily.
It's already happening, arguably.
Well, was it this year? It has already been so long when like the airlines, like their computer system went down at like airports across the nation, and they had like whiteboards, and they had to bring like of all the flight times, and they were
Oh,
bringing
yeah.
back out the old timey like analog boards that they would set up, like, and that was just like, This is, you could show someone a picture of this and convince them that there was like some catastrophic thing that happened in the country and that we had to go back to like writing out all the flight times and the arrivals and departures and all that.
Yeah, what the hell was that? That was like this year, right? Or like that was like in the last.
I feel like it.
Really
was
recently,
recent.
I feel like. Yeah.
It could have been 6 years ago, and the timeline is so fuzzy now that I'd be like, oh, I guess that wasn't as recent as I thought. I think it was this year.
Yeah.
Sounds right. Okay, so get ready for that, everybody. Hello, Summoners. Just want to give a stand down to Jason Schreier on Blue Sky. He posted, here's a hot take. I liked Avowed way more than Expedition 33. I know this is just his opinion, but brother, you're putting the most 6 out of 10 game over a modern masterpiece is crazy. It got so heated, he locked that Blue Sky post. This is the very first time I saw someone get ratioed on Blue Sky.
That's a look. That is patently insane. But like, you know, everybody has the right to their opinion. I think on certain levels, I think I liked playing Avowed in the sense of like I liked the feeling of like, you know, magic wanding people,
Right.
and like sorting, like it feels good. But yeah. Like, I don't know. That game was very sauceless, I felt.
Yes. I haven't played
which
Avowed,
is-
but that's the impression I got. Big time. No one
Yeah.
seemed amped about that game. Everyone I talked to about the game is just kind of like, eh.
It was like,
eh.
it felt like 50% of the way there. You know what I mean? Like, everything felt good, but it just wasn't deep enough. And like, I'm somebody, I don't give a shit about that. Like, I like my, you know, Immortals of Aviums, if that's what you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, like I got no fucking issue with like a, you know, a linear romp through whatever, but like the game's constantly kind of luring you with this expectation. It's constantly being like, and maybe this isn't a fair comparison, and maybe it isn't what they were trying to do, but the game constantly comes across like it's like Skyrim.
Right.
And then you try to do Skyrim things, and then it just doesn't work because it's not
can't do
built
it.
like Skyrim, and then you're just kind of left feeling like, all right, well, why did you even make it? Why did you even build it in such a way that anybody could even extrapolate that in the first place if you weren't even going to facilitate the basic fundamentals of what people were going to try with the formula that you've put in front of them? It's very strange.
Yeah.
If that game was like a linear kind of like, if that game was like an Immortals of Avium, I feel like it would have been a lot better because it would have been a lot more focused. It would have had not as much of a, you know, people would have understood it a little bit more, but like this kind of half-assed it's like a half measure, you know, between like,
Yeah.
it's an open world game, but it's not. And it's like, okay, well,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't care.
Everyone immediately forgot about it after Oblivion came out. And that other
Yeah.
game, I forgot what it was called. Locklight did, and so did Maddie. They said it was really good. It's like a first-person game like that too.
Like
But
Avowed?
yeah. Or like Oblivion, yeah.
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Fuck, I
yeah.
don't know the name either.
I just forgot what it's called off the top of my head, but yeah. Well, anyways, the thing about this is it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's his opinion. I don't really care about that. But when you're posting this, you know what you are doing,
Oh, yeah.
and you have to expect the responses you're going to get because you can predict it easily. And the fact that he had to lock it, like it got more out of hand than he expected, it's like, what are you doing, man? What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah. Also, how bad could those responses possibly be on Blue Sky that you're locking? Like,
Yeah.
that seems so crazy to me. Like, the shit in my message requests all the time is so unhinged, and I love it. So, like, the idea of, like, somebody being on Blue Sky being like, I disagree, Jason. And then him being like,
Locked. You're
and him being
banned.
like, ew. Yeah, it seems crazy. I don't know. You post on Twitter, anytime you post on social media, it is for engagement. That's like
Yeah.
the point of it. Like the illusion of this being like some kind of like place to be real is gone. Like there's no sign of that anymore.
Oh, no,
So-
dude. Okay. So, like, Colin and I were talking about this because Google, like Facebook and YouTube clearly think that I'm a man. All my ads, I keep getting all these ads about men recovering from like porn addiction, for example. And it's convenient because, well, you're trying to sell me something that I don't need. So the advertisements aren't working. But it's getting to the point where like Instagram reels are like this like men's motivational shit. And I got a really funny one the other day that said, she doubled her body count and got fat. I doubled my bank account and got jacked.
Nice.
And like,
Get owned.
Get on.
it has been like just rattling around in my head all week, but it's just like, bro, what? And the thing is, it's like showed a picture of some guy, and then he was like swole, but like it was completely like looked fucking fake. Like he was like Hugh Jackman at his peak, okay? And I'm like, that's not the same guy.
Yeah.
That did not happen. It's all like fake. It's all just for the likes. Whether any like positive or negative engagement, like they don't care because like you're just driving views to their account. But it's like I see so much of this shit now. I'm like, this isn't even remotely real. But people in the comments are like losing their fucking minds over it as if it's nuts. It's just nuts.
Yeah, it's weird to lock your account for something so mild.
Yeah.
Like I just don't
video
get
game
it.
opinion? Like, I don't know, man. Like you're making a snarky post. What do you fucking expect, dude?
Well, that's the other thing too, is the nature of people to constantly compare things. It's like, why couldn't you just say, I loved Avowed this year? Like, why couldn't you just make a post saying, thinking back on Avowed because it feels like it kind of got lost in the other games this year. I really enjoyed it. But we know why, because that wouldn't drive engagement. The reason to do this, the reason to do the comparisons and to rile people up is to get all the fucking likes and shit. But it's like the reality is like you could have just said how much you liked Avowed without comparing it to something else that people are rabid about.
Yeah, positivity doesn't, like, nobody cares. Like, if you can run this experiment a million times over and you'll get the same result. But like if you post like a positive thing about a game and a negative thing about a game, like the negative thing will always blow the fuck out of the positive.
I know my YouTube channel failed because it was all positive. I only talked about games I liked. I never talked about games I didn't like. I didn't ever really say anything negative about like gaming or shows. Like I just talked about the things I liked, and it fucking failed, dog. So like, yeah,
it failed, dog. Dude, like the thing, yeah, like you have to almost bury positivity. You almost have to bury the lead in some sense, right? You almost have to like mislead people in some way of just like maybe luring them in with like a negative thing, or even just like making something positive, but that's not the point of it. It's like, it's just kind of obscure. Like I brought this guy up before on shows, but like, you know, Annie Austin, he's like a YouTube, he does like these really specific, like weird, like it's like, where do the power lines in Liberty City go? And
I've seen pictures of this guy. Yeah, he's talking about Wind Waker water.
Yeah.
Where's the Wind Waker's water from?
Yeah, dude, those videos are fucking fantastic. And they're all pretty positive. Like they're pretty like, he's like speaks like very positive. Like he's like, I like it. He talks about the vibe of Starfield and like where like, oh, where do all the pipes in Starfield go? And like, does it make sense? And it's all this like research stuff, and it's good shit. And it's also like not negative, which is like nice. It's like a shout out to that guy from me, obviously. Not that these guys haven't seen him.
I don't know.
That's one of the, he's one of the rare people that I found recently where I'm like, this is good shit. And it's also shit that I would have never thought of. Like where does the water in Wind Waker come from? I don't know. The ocean?
The sky.
I have no idea.
All right. That's it. We're done. Chris, Micah, thank you both for joining me. I'm still thinking about Poggers from Chucky in the back of my head. It's going to be in my head all day now.
It was in my head for like a year when I first saw
thanks for that. It's like one of those things that I just want to impulse say out loud, and I know
it becomes
an inappropriate area.
It becomes a vocal stim. You become Stimmy Neutron with things like that. And you just can't.
Stimmy Neutron.
Yeah, you fucking Poggers.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Oh my God, I've never heard that before.
Stimmy Neutron? We always, I don't know. I don't know what that's from. I'm sure that's from some. I'm sure that I can't be the first person to think of that. But God bless. I hope you wake up in the middle of the night thinking Poggers.
Yeah, dreaming about it. Yeah,
dreaming about
absolutely.
Yeah, it's actually so. There's an old episode of, not like super old, but there's an episode of Family Feud with Steve Harvey, and the guy shouts out "naked grandma," And like that has been like the thing in the back of my mind that just plays randomly. Be like, naked grandma. Like this might replace that.
Naked
I
grandma.
could see this. Oh my, and the Steve Harvey's like, naked what? Like, you know, he does his classic, like, oh my God, they said penis when I asked what male body part is. Like,
he always had that like that droopy dog face.
I love him so much though, because his episode of Comedians in Cars with Jerry Seinfeld, and it's just like he knows what he's doing. He knows what the people want to see. Like he's a complete like perfect showman. But I fucking love him on Family Feud, and his reactions are they're fucking great. But yeah, naked grandma. That's gonna be replaced probably now.
Good. Poggers is much funnier. Thinking of Chuck E. Cheese doing that.
No, I mean,
Fallout, guys.
Bradley, if you'd seen it,
I believe you.
The question,
I believe
the question was like, what would a burglar not want to see when he came into your house?
Yeah.
And then they gave him the answer because all the top answer was like a person, and he was like, I guess it is.
Yeah.
I'm still reeling from the no donations. I've known about this clip for so long, and I never thought about that. I never looked at that once. And saying like top donations completely blank and empty, like that reinvigorate. That's like somebody donated materials to my Death Stranding road. You know what I mean? Like that just reinforced that entire clip for me.
I wish I can go back in time and see how many viewers he had live.
Oh my God, it's probably like 16, maybe. Like
maybe not even that.
Maybe. Yeah, it was. I have to imagine, out of curiosity, people would check in. But
yeah, I would definitely check in now. Bring it back, Chucky. Get back to streaming, dude.
Yeah, let's.
No.
He should join. I don't know, what is it? One of those controversial streaming houses. That
he should join FaZe Clan or some shit.
Join FaZe or like OTK or something.
OTK,
yeah. What's the thing that Jaffe does? He should.
He should go to Locale Live. Chuck E. Cheese on Locale Live.
That would be amazing. Holy shit! Chuck E. Cheese started Boogie and Chuck E. Cheese together.
Oh God, that is a fucking that's like Sam and Max Poker Night. That's like such a fever dream combination of people.
Yeah, that was good shit. Good idea, Micah. All right, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
Thanks everybody. We'll see you next week. Goodbye. Summon Sign is a product of Last Stand Media and Colin's Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Brad Ellis. The show is produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Summon Sign, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we are grateful for your kind contribution and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.